playoffs. Today from Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario, it's Canadian Intercollegiate Football, McGill Redmond against the Queen's Golden Gales. A warm welcome to you on a beautiful fall afternoon from George Richardson Stadium here in Kingston, Ontario. I'm Peter Watts, along with John Wells and Tuffy Knight, looking forward to a great football game between two teams, John, that have met a lot of times over the years.
Well, it goes back to 1898 between Queens and McGill, and this is meeting number 150. Queens has a slight edge going back all those years. This is even before Tuffy Knight started coaching football, but it was 82-62, Queens leading this series with McGill. And on the year, Queens a rather devastating victory over McGill, so I suppose with home field and everything, Queens has to be favored, but it's going to be a great football afternoon and absolutely perfect weather conditions for it.
Now, we were talking about that great football game. It was 59-30 for Queens on the 22nd of September in Montreal, and the wishbone offense was working pretty well for the Gales.
Well, the runners had a great afternoon. Greg Bond leading the way, and of course, that's the way that the Queens Golden Gales are going to try and win this football game this afternoon. They are a running football team. They run the option very well with quarterback Peter Harrison, who is the all-star quarterback in this division of Canadian college football. But he goes up against a young man by the name of Jamie Crawford, who is the best passer in the Ontario-Quebec Conference. So I think we've got, at least arguably so, the two best quarterbacks in Canadian college football, at least in this part of the country for right now, meeting here today.
Okay, well, there's no reason to think we won't see lots of offense on the basis of what happened between these two teams back in September and on the basis of the statistics that they've developed over the season. Tuffy Knight, let's bring you in now for a comment on one of your favorite offenses, the wishbone.
Well, I think it's an outstanding offense, and I think it's the best running offense in football today, and it's very difficult to stop because you cannot prepare for it. I used to say anything that the defense does is wrong, and you do the opposite, which makes you right, so that usually puts you in a winner's circle.
It's no wonder you love this particular formation.
I love it. I think it's an outstanding, like I said, outstanding offensive formation.
All right, now we had a chance to see this offense a few weeks ago in Ottawa against the GGs, and it worked very, very well on that occasion. Mr. Harrison runs it very well.
Well, I think this is the thing. I think it depends on your quarterback, whether it's a success or not, and Peter Harrison just does an outstanding job. It takes a lot of mental preparation to run this offense, and he does it extremely well. And when he does it, you have a lot of backs can carry the ball, and you control the offense, you control the tempo of the game, and the other team doesn't have the ball. If the other team doesn't have the football, they can't score.
Okay, Tuffy, this is just one of the games on this particular weekend. In Canadian Intercollegiate Football, we're getting into the playoffs now in all of the conferences with the exception of the West, which is wrapping up its regular season of play this weekend. Let's go to the top 10 standings first of all. We have the McMaster Marauders, unbeaten all season long, playing great football up in Hamilton. They are at home this weekend at the University of Guelph. And Tuffy, that's a game I would think McMaster should be heavily favored to win, although last week Guelph turned the ball over 9 times and still came within 10 points.
Well, I think that McMaster's is too strong for Guelph right now, and they've got a seasoned team, and it's going. I think I would be extremely surprised if McMaster's doesn't beat them, and probably beat them fairly good.
Okay. The other two teams in the top 3 are Calgary and Alberta. Calgary has defeated the University of Manitoba in its final game of the season, while the Alberta Golden Bears are at home to Saskatchewan in their final game. If Alberta can win that game being played in Edmonton this weekend, Alberta will get home field for the playoff game between Alberta and Calgary, which is next week. How do you analyze that match?
Well, I think that'll be a real tough game. Those are both outstanding football teams, and I think they're evenly matched. I would give the nod to Alberta because they're playing at home, and I was talking to the coach of Alberta this week, and he said it was minus 15 Celsius, so there was about 6 inches of snow on the ground, and it's on grass, so this has to hurt Calgary a little bit. Now Alberta's used to playing on that kind of stuff up there on their field, their home field, so I think Alberta will win that game next week.
Okay. Now, very quickly, we have two other games this weekend, York at Western in the OUAA and Mount Allison against Acadia down in the Atlantic Conference to pick the winner there.
Well, I think Western is playing at home with their crowd, and they're tough to beat down there. They've come on very strong. York just played them last week, but when York does not have that playoff experience behind him. Western does have the playoff experience. Their kids have been in the playoff probably a number of times, and they're playing at home, so I would give that nod to Western. I think they're just too strong for York right now in Western.
How about the Atlantic Conference quickly?
Well, Atlantic Conference, I think Acadia is probably the cream of the crop out there, and they will win that, I think, fairly easy.
Okay, Tuffy, thank you for that. To both coaches coming up as our pregame show continues in just a moment. back at George Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. I'm Peter Watts, along with John Wells and Tuffy Knight, looking forward to a great football game here this afternoon. And happy now to welcome the head coach of the McGill Redmen in his 13th year with the team, Charlie Bailey. Charlie, you've been with this team 13 years. You remember some great games, I'm sure, between these two teams, although I'm not sure that the last one is one that you'd care to remember too much.
No, that's true, Peter, but actually goes back further than 13 years. It goes back to 1967 when I was coaching as an assistant coach. And there are some memorable occasions playing against Queens over those 15 or 16 years.
I remember a quarterback, and I'm not sure if he was before 1967, but Tom Skypeck and Cal Connor used to hook up in some great battles in old George Richardson Stadium, and a lot of older fans across the country today probably remember that matchup very well.
I remember them. I didn't see very much because I was playing at that time, but I do know that there were some great rivalries in those days.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your football team this year. It has been a little bit of an up-and-down kind of season for you, and yet you're in the playoffs, and that's the important thing. What has been the storyline on the McGill Redmen '84 season?
Well, we're pleased with our season to date. We believe that we were going to start off slowly, but we started off fairly quickly, and then we dipped a little bit, took a couple of defeats, but I think that in the last couple of weeks we've improved. Even though we lost 2 weeks ago against Bishops, we did show some great improvement. And then last week we beat them quite handily. And now I think that team is peaking. It's reached its potential, and we're ready today. You talk about that victory over Bishops last week. They're ranked 4th or 5th, arguably, in the country, and yet you shut them out 22-0. How did that happen? Well, these things will happen sometimes. I think that the ratings are something that it's difficult to control. There's 10 good football teams. I'm not really that concerned that we're not rated. It's not that important to us. I think the important thing is that we won the game. We beat the 5th-rated team in the nation, and that was the important thing. Okay, Charlie, we look for a good football game from the Redmen today. Thanks for your time with being with us today. Thank you very much, Peter. It's my pleasure. Charlie Bailey, head coach of the McGill Redmen. Right now, let's go and hear what Peter Harrison, the quarterback of the Queens Golden Gales, has to say. He's standing by with John Wells. John?
Okay, Peter, with me now, the Queens Golden Gale quarterback, Peter Harrison, who runs the option so incredibly well in Canadian college football. I suppose that's exactly where you're going at him today, same as the last time we met.
Oh, we're going to come out with it and see how they handle it, and if they change their defense, we'll go from there. We haven't put in anything new, and we're just going to, the game plan is to come out and see what kind of defense they're playing.
Now, you made it look quite easy during the regular season. I suppose you're not looking back to that as part of your preparation for today.
Well, it may look easy. It takes a lot of practice. Like I said, we're just going to come out and see if they've changed their linebackers and see what happens.
As an option quarterback, you do take a few more hits out there, don't you?
Yeah, I guess I take more hits than the average quarterback. That's why I got the flak jacket on today.
How do you feel? How's the team?
Team's up. I don't see any signs of being overconfident. We know it's playoffs, do-or-die situation, and we're looking to play well.
Okay, what about McGill as you look at this football club and the defenses that they were able to throw at you last time? What do you have to watch for most particularly?
They play pretty much a standard defense that we've seen throughout the season. We don't know if they're going to change against us. We like to play a ball control type of offense due to the fact that Crawford and his receivers and their offense can score really quickly.
A word or two about your running backs. They had an incredible time the last time you two teams met.
Yeah, we got really good backs. You have to give credit to the offensive line making the big holes. The McGill deep backs and safeties were making most of the tackles because they were getting through the line and the linebackers without too much trouble.
Tell us about your backfield.
Greg Bond, he's a tough straight-ahead runner. We got two of the better halfbacks in the league, and Dean Wilcox has been a really big surprise for us. He didn't start playing until about the 3rd game of the season, and he ended up, I think, 6th in the conference in rushing. He's had 100-yard games in every game he's played. And backing him up is Andy Stubbard, who had 130 yards against him last time we played. So we've got a good backfield.
All right. Now, how much are you going to throw this afternoon? At all?
Well, we're going to see if their deep backs are playing up tight. Other teams have seemed to bring their deep backs up to try to stop the option. If they're going to do that, we'll play action pass behind them.
Okay, thanks very much. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Sean.
All right, let's take you back to Peter Watts.
Thank you, John. I'm with Jamie Crawford, the starting quarterback for the McGill Redmen in this ball game. Jamie, your club thought of, I think, as a passing team, but the running game has come along pretty well this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. Last year we passed a lot, but this year we stressed a lot on the run. We executed a lot, and our line has been developed towards the run more. And with Andy Holman back there, it's been really successful.
He's not very big, but he seems to find the holes.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. He's just a little guy, 5'4½", but he's really solid. He worked hard on the offseason, and he came back just a fireball.
I remember you when you played for the University of Alberta a couple of years ago. What has matured in your own game that has caused you to be so much improved this year?
Well, a lot of patience. I've developed that, and maturity, and just more understanding of the game and reading the defenses, and confidence, too. Built a lot of that.
Now, you've got a young receiver that we're developing in this story, and that's Glenn Miller, who's had a great year for you. What has been the key to the success that you two have enjoyed?
Well, most of our patterns have been evolved around the slot back position, and he was in the right place at the right time, and we've developed him, as you said, into understanding what he has to do to get open, and he's been doing a fantastic job, as you've seen.
You are going to want to spend a considerable amount of time on the field, I would think, in this ball game, because if that triple option offense of the Gales gets going, it could be a long afternoon. How do you propose to do that?
Well, I don't know if we're planning to stay on the field a long time. We just want to get on there and score, however it takes, a long pass or march down. But we just want to get points and then let our defense beat those guys up.
Certainly you scored 30 points against Queens in the game in Montreal in September. It wasn't enough. Would it be enough today?
Today, I'm sure it would be, because our defense has improved over the past few weeks, and plus they have this game in their mind. The past game we lost to just shut them down, because they're not very happy about it.
Pretty balanced attack you expect in this ball game?
We'll start off with giving everything we can, and what seems to be most successful will slowly tend towards that, but we'll start off with the run and the pass.
We'll hope for a good ball game from you today.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Jamie Crawford, starting quarterback from the McGill Redmen. Up next, Tuffy's predictions on this game. We're back with more action from Richardson Stadium in Kingston in just a moment. Beautiful day for a football game. Looking forward to a great matchup between the Redmen and the Queens Golden Gales. On the line, a playoff berth in the O-QIFC final. The Gales are on the field. I think the Redmen are just making their way out right now. And while we have a moment before we get to the introduction of the starting lineups, let me tell you who the officials will be today. The referee is Neil Thompson. The back umpire is Bob Rudick. Field judge will be Bob Gordon. Line umpire is Wayne Norris. And the head linesman will be Gord Smith. And on that note, I think we're just about ready for the player introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to George Richardson Stadium for today's O-QIFC semifinal game between the McGill Redmen and the Queens Golden Gales. We also welcome TSN, the All Sports Network, to today's contest. The referee for this afternoon's ball game, number 11, Neil Thompson. The line umpire, number 44, Wayne Norris. The back umpire, number 27, Bill Ruddick. The head linesman, number 20, Gord Smith. And the field judge, number 2, Bob Gordon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the starting offensive unit for the visiting McGill Redmen. The center, wearing number 40 for the Redmen, Steve Gedney.
Well, Tuffy Knight, I don't think we're going to lack for any kind of enthusiasm here this afternoon.
No, I think there's a very, very good football atmosphere right here this afternoon. And we're looking for a big game.
Perfect field conditions, perfect weather, two great football teams, all the ingredients needed for a great football game. And we'll have first quarter action coming up in just a moment.
Kickoff.
Not a cloud anywhere over eastern Ontario. Slight breeze out of the south. It'll be in the favor of the McGill Redmen in the first quarter. And it's a perfect day for a great football game with a playoff spot in the O-QIFC final on the line. McGill Redmen and the Queens Golden Gales. And for first quarter action, let's get upstairs and join John Wells and Tuffy Knight. Gentlemen.
All right, Peter, Jamie McKinnon and John Larson are deep for the Queens University Golden Gales for the kickoff from Glenn Miller. And as you say, a beautiful afternoon for football. Tuffy, it's November the 2nd today, and can you believe this weather? That sunshine out there.
It's almost golf weather, really, you know.
Looking back to when we began back in Calgary, we had snow, and that was back in September. So this is pretty nice afternoon. Glenn Miller to get it underway for the McGill University Redmen under head coach Charlie Bailey. This is John Larson. And Larson has a bit of a seam. He's up to the 35, brought down by Cliff Wilson, number 42. Now spotted down around the 37-yard line. So that's excellent field position for Peter Harrison and the Queens University Golden Gales to begin offensively. With Harrison in the backfield, it's Greg Bond and Dean Wilcox, the running backs. John Larson and Scott Bessessar, outside receivers. The tight ends are Steve Porter and Vince Panetta. And up front, along the offensive line, Sam Ashton, the center. The guards are Galunik and Kalkouros, and the tackles are Oakley and Shad. It's first down and 10 to go for the Golden Gale.
Come on, there! Right in front!
Harrison will throw a wobbly pass and almost intercepted. They ruled no catch. That was Denny Touchette, and it was intended for Scott Bessessar. So Touchette just about had an interception there, Tuffy.
That's right. The official was right on top of her. Otherwise, I can see he was going to try to fake him out and pretend like
it was a good call, no question about it. But the official had to be in the right place to make that right call.
That's right. If he'd have been behind, he would have couldn't see it because watch, here's the pass there. We have a little trouble there. He looks like he trapped it here, but see right there, it bounced. The official was in perfect position to see that. Otherwise, he was looked up to see if he could give him the big fake or not.
It's second down for Queens. This is Dean Wilcox. And Wilcox should have a first down. He's very close. Stopped by Vince Gagne. We told you that the Golden Gales were not going to pass very often this afternoon. And they passed on first down, first play.
Well, I think they did it. Watch it. Here's a trap. 54 for Queens did the trapping there. Kicks out. It's a counter trap. Outstanding play. Oakley trap. That's a tackle trap here, which is Queens likes to run that.
All right, it's first down for the Golden Gales. This is Greg Bond. Bond has substantial yardage, finally forced out by Denny Touchette. A 32-yard pickup for Greg Bond.
Okay, John, that's a triple option right there. Harrison did an outstanding job of reading it. Here we are. Going to see it back here. See, steps back. He keys The man for tackle for McGill goes outside. He leaves the ball in the fullback of on. That's your first option, the triple option. And McGill is going to have to defense a little better than that as they'll be in for a long afternoon. That's an outstanding read. He reads that defensive tackle.
Queens Golden Gales with a first down inside the 30-yard line at the 29. This time it's John Larson. And Larson does not find the yardage that Bond found on the previous play. Give him a couple before the stop was made by Philip C.I.A.U, number 50 for the McGill Redmen.
Well, that's just a power play. They just try to come in there and knock you down and run over top you on that. And I'm not sure Queens is able to do that, even though as big as they are. They may have a little trouble overpowering McGill. So that's what they try to do that time. It's a good power play call.
2nd and 9. Harrison may throw. He does. And has his man inside the 15-yard line. Far side of the field, that's Scott Bessessar, and he was forced out by Robin Belanger.
All right, here we are, and if quarterback reversed out, just similar to the power play they just ran, faked the counter trap from the back. Now he does a good job here, getting his shoulder squared up. See, got his shoulder squared up there to the parallel to the line of scrimmage, and delivered the ball extremely well. That's a good play because they've run the ball on that counter trap a while ago, and McGill was looking for that, and they left the receiver wide open.
First down from the 12-yard line. And Greg Bond, the ball carrier once more. Joe Chenze, number 60, made the tackle. Now give Bond a gain of 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
They're on the 4-yard line, and what they've got McGill now concerned because they're running the ball on them. The backs are concerned about the run. While they go, they come back with a pass. And this time, then they start thinking pass. They come back and run the football. So
Harrison looks to the end zone, has his man. Flag is down. Now there's a flag down. Greg Bond has the touchdown, but there's a flag at the 5-yard line. So hang on 1 second.
Queens is offsides here, or illegal procedure. Here where he rolls out. Bond comes out of the backfield, just goes short flat, goes in there, the ball's thrown nice and low. Impossible to intercept that.
Illegal procedure. Queens, 2nd down.
Well, they're back now, John, where they're back about to the 13-yard line, I think, and that's a costly penalty.
Certainly is. It'll be 2nd down and 8 to go.
Here's a touchdown.
Here we go. John Larson, number 19. And 2 flags down. Make that 3 flags down there.
Well,
can you see around
I
the corner?
can see, I'm kind of behind a post, but I can see he's called it holding against Queens on number 72 there. Well, here we go. See, there's the read. There's a fullback going through. They take the fullback this time, so Harrison brings the ball outside. Brings it outside, makes the pitch. There, right there's the illegal block. It's a block from the rear right there. Good call by the official. Officials are right on the ball today.
Steve Porter is number 72 for the Golden Gales. The referee this afternoon is Neil Thompson. So 2 penalties in a row. And the Queens University Golden Gales they were in the end zone twice.
Yep, that's right. That was a very tough play right there because you have to discipline yourself because the man has his back to you and you just bump him a little. And
The Queens push from the rear, number 72. 2nd down repeated.
So, as I said, that takes a little discipline. You're there and you want to bump him. You know that's your man. I don't know if he could have made the play or not. It's hard to say whether he would have stopped it.
It is now 2nd down and 18 yards to go for the Golden Gales. Harrison will throw to the end zone, has his man, touchdown, and no flags. That's Steve Porter. No flags down. Porter caught that one in front of Stephen Bailey, number 9.
All right, here we are. Porter comes out, does the sideline. Make an outstanding catch here. Watch this catch. Great catch here. Look at that. That is a great catch. That kind of amends for the penalty. Here we are, another angle. So he fakes it, comes out. A lot of pressure on him. Throws the ball. Watch this catch. That's a great catch right there because that was good defense. McGill had a good defense on him. And it's appropriate that Porter would do that after costing him the penalty, so he's made amends.
Connie Mandela will try to add to the Queens collection. They lead it 6-0 early in the opening quarter. And Mandela is good. Connie Mandela gives the Queens University Golden Gales a 7-0 lead on the McGill Redmen early in the opening quarter. Happy times at Queens University as the Golden Gales took their first possession offensively all the way up the field and scored the touchdown to move out in front of the McGill Redmen 7-0. And a couple of penalties. Tuffy almost cost them the touchdown. They had it in the end zone 3 times, in fact, the Golden Gales, but finally in the end, Porter making the catch, and it's 7-0.
Well, that has to be kind of discouraging to McGill because they took the ball, drove down, even though they had 2 penalties, they were still able to put the ball in the end zone. That is not a good sign if you're standing on the McGill sideline. I can tell you that from a coaching point of view. That's not a good feeling.
Connie Mandela. Taken by Robin Belanger. Belanger for McGill tries the outside, has good speed out there, now reverses his field, and that's where he lost it, a 26-yard return. Belanger stopped by John Thompson.
And that's where McGill will scrimmage.
Well, they have pretty good field positions, pretty close to the same place that Queens started from the last time. Here we are on the instant replay. He breaks it outside. Now he's got some running room out here. I don't think he should have stopped here. I would have thought he should have continued to run because he had the outside, and he could have gotten maybe a few yards farther, but he tried to stop and break it back inside. You're not going to have a lot of success doing that against a good football team perceived well.
First offensive sequence for the McGill Redmen, and that's Mike Stanham, stopped by Steve Bodner for Queens. Let's take a look at that McGill offensive backfield with Jamie Crawford, the quarterback. He has Andy Holman and Mike Stanham as running backs. Ray Lalonde and Dave Angel are outside receivers. Glenn Miller a slot back. And up front, the center is Steve Gedney. The guards are Louis Oliveira and Perry Kosaras. And the tackle Joe Chinze and Glenn McDonald. The gain of 5, second down, and 5 to go for McGill. Crawford, left-handed, throws this time. Looks to the sidelines, and Ray Lalonde was the intended receiver. Had the right idea. John Thompson was covering.
Well, I think McGill has to be very careful here because, you know, they had 2nd and 5 on that. You know, it's a little bit patience. If you could have a little patience right now, you're going to find you maybe have a little more success. But I think they got a little anxious there and threw the football on that 2nd down. And right now, Queens is going to get the ball in fair field position again.
Kicker for McGill is Bruno Pietrobon, number 26. Jamie McKinnon is back, along with Dean Wilcox for Queens. It goes right between them. And Don Young comes up with it. So there's a break for the McGill Redmen as Young is trapped deep in his own zone by Steve Gedney, number 40. And Queens University will begin at the 5-yard line after a 60-yard kick by Bruno Pietrobon.
Here's the thing, John, on that one there. They look like both receivers for Queens, punt return men, come up to catch the football. And here we are, watch. They both come up. Either one could have caught it, and I think they were waiting for the other one, and the ball hits the ground and bounces between them. That's one of the Cardinal sins, is do not let that ball hit the ground if at all possible.
That's the old baseball play. I got it, you got it.
Yeah,
no, you take it.
yeah.
That's what they did. It cost them a lot of yards.
It
Back at
certainly
the 5 now. Queens University. First down. That's Dean Wilcox, and he was met by Vince Gagne. Not before Wilcox picks up close to 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
He's a little guy, John. He dropped his shoulder over there on that guy from McGill. Watch it. Here we are. Just pulling. Watch him drop his shoulder over here on this man from McGill. Watch it. Right here. He dropped his shoulder right there. Watch. Boom. See what he does there? Now, you'd think that's a big man doing that. He's 175 pounds at 5'7". That's a very tough thing to do for a little guy.
Robin Belanger is down. He's from the McGill Redmen. Slightly shaken up on that last sequence. We'll get back and check in on the action here at Queens right after this. John Wells along with Tuffy Knight and Peter Watts along the sidelines. Peter, lovely afternoon to be watching a game down there.
Very nice afternoon indeed. Not very much of a breeze. In fact, it's dropped just a little bit, and the breeze favors the Redmen in this first quarter. So far, I've been impressed with the fact that Queens has shown an indication that they're prepared to throw the football perhaps a little bit more than we expected, although certainly the ground game is what we expect to see predominantly from the Queens offense today.
All right, it's Queens second down, 2 yards to go at the 15-yard line. That's Greg Bond, and Bond should have the first down. Caught in the grasp of Joe Chesney, number 60 for the McGill Redmen.
Tackled by Joe Zenzi.
And there you see Peter Harrison, the outstanding quarterback of the Queens University Golden Gales. We saw him a couple of weeks ago, Tuffy. He runs the option so incredibly well. He's the all-star quarterback in this conference and not a great passer.
Well, he's not the greatest passer. He throws it well enough to get the job done, but his strong suit is reading the option and running the offense.
First down, and that's Dean Wilcox. And Wilcox comes up with maybe 5 yards. Bobby Taylor, 27, led the McGill tacklers that time.
Wilcox, that was that counter trap there, and Wilcox is so daggone small back there that you don't pick him up right away. The defensive linemen and linebackers, watch here, we go right there. You don't see him in there when there's that pile. Those guys are all 6'3", 6'4", and you don't see him, and he sneaks through that hole before those linebackers are able to pick him up.
It's second down and 2, a fumble in there, and who's got it? Difficult to see.
I think McGill may have
it. They've come up with the first turnover of the ball game. McGill University Redmond. Greg Bond lost the football, and Donald Burns, number 75, is the man of the moment for the Redmen. There you see him, 75, Don Burns.
Well, this is the thing. It's the option play here. Watch. See if Peter gets it in there. Right there. Looked like he did good exchange. It's the option play. That's one of the things on the options you work on an awful lot is that putting the ball in a quarterback's stomach or fullback's stomach, the quarterback does, and whether or not he takes it or you take it out or leave it.
All right, McGill with a first down inside the Queens 35-yard line. Crawford back to throw, lifts one long, and couldn't bring it in that time. Number 22, Dave Angel. He waited for it for a moment. Norm Fenning, another number 22, was covering. When it hung up a little bit.
Well, it was underthrown. The pass was underthrown, and he had to stop and wait for it. If he could have led him a little further, I thought the pass was thrown where he should have been, close to the sideline. But he underthrew it, and he had to stand and come back for it. Watch, he's got the man beat if he throws it out. See, he has to stop and wait for it, and that's why it was incomplete.
Second and 10 now.
Queens is
Flags are
offside.
down.
Yeah.
Crawford has a free one, and a completion to Glenn Miller. Tackled by Russ Clitheroe. A 19-yard catch, if it counts. Tuffy, you say Queens offside, Dave?
I think Queens is offside, right. Here he comes. This is a great job of running out, throwing the ball on the run. There's a good catch. He jumps up there. I can see that Miller. He's a receiver. You throw that ball in his area. Watch, here we are. You throw the ball in his area. Watch him. He goes after it. This is what a good receiver does. He's going to go up and get the ball. This is a free play for him anyway, and it's good that they continued to carry out their assignments and have a success, because it's an 18-yard game rather than a 5-yard game.
It was offside. Queens refused by McGill, and they have a first down. The Redmen do at the 15-yard line. This is Andy Holman, number 23. Holman all the way to the 5-yard line. He'll have a first down. Now, good story on Andy Holman. He stands 5 feet 4.5 inches tall. Just a little guy.
Well, you know, you got kind of looks like two of the same back there. You got Wilcox for Queens, who's 5'7", and you got Holman here. Watch it. When those linemen get out there in front of you, you can't find him. That's a good block there, right there. So, and he cuts it back real nice there. See? Plus, these little guys are able to break tackles. I'm impressed with that.
He'd be a guy you'd like to have coached. You could look him right in the eye.
Oh, look him right in the eye, right.
It is a first down and goal to go for McGill. And tough running for Mike Sandham, 33. But he has a couple of yards. Oliveri, number 32. Frank Oliveri.
Well, it's going to get tough down there now, John. It's second down on a 4-yard line, and Queens pretty good size, that defensive line. So, you know, it's called nut cracking time now. You know, if you're going to stick it in there on the run, you're going to have to get down there and get after some people.
They picked up less than a yard, the Redmen. It'll be 2nd and goal to go from just inside the 5. And they whistle it down. Too long getting the ball into play. Too much time.
That is, I thought there looked like a little confusion. That is a costly penalty. You're down on the 4-yard line. Now you're back to the 9. That is a costly penalty.
McGill.
But I thought McGill looked like they were a little confused. The team was out there and they were pointing at people, and I don't know where they were calling out their blocking assignments or what, but this may give them a good opportunity to throw the ball to Miller. There he is, wide open, wide open.
Crawford has to get to him, though. Looks to the end zone. Miller's open. Touchdown. Something you called the play before it happened. I don't see any flags down. So Glenn Miller has the first touchdown for the McGill Redmen. And they're within a point of
Here we
Queens.
are. There's some confusion on McGill's part. They put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but they don't have enough in back in the secondary to cover. Watch it. He goes up and catches the ball in his hand. A good receiver will not try to catch a ball in his chest. Here we are again from another angle. He sprints out. They got some pressure on him, but Crawford is able to deliver the ball. You know, watch it up and catches the ball. See, high in the air and catches the ball in his hand. That's a good receiver. I told you, I could tell this guy is he's a natural receiver. That like you throw the ball in his area and he goes after it and he's hungry for it.
Glenn Miller has another point to add to the touchdown, so Miller has accounted for all the points for the McGill Redmen, who are now even with the Queens University Golden Gales, still in the first quarter of this semifinal. John Wells along with Tuffy Knight and Peter Watts at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, and it's all even early in the opening quarter here. Good football action so far.
Well, I think that miscue by Queens, that fumble, has just probably changed the whole complex of this game, because McGill now is fired up again. They were down just a little bit after that first drive of Queens. Now they're back fired up, ready to go.
Glenn Miller kicks it deep. It bounces into the end zone. And back for Jamie McKinnon.
That's a single point.
He had no play, and it goes for a single point.
If the ball goes out of bounds, it's on the side of the end zone like that, it's a point. If it goes out the back, it's not. So they have to concede a point right there.
Well executed by Glenn Miller, and actually a little misjudged by Jamie McKinnon.
Yeah, I think Queens twice now, their punt return and kickoff return team has not been very sharp. They've cost them and they've hurt them just a little bit. Although I think they're better off taking a ball on the 35-yard line and giving up a point rather than playing the ball down on a 1-yard line or 5 or 10-yard line even.
Well, he did have a play just inside. That is number 31, Jamie McKinnon, but he chose not to play. This is Greg Bond, and can he run the football? Bond to the 55-yard line. Stephen Bailey to make the tackle. A 39-yard run.
Well, here we are right there. This is just, watch the trap there. But number 69 did the trapping.
Terry Edwards.
Terry Edwards trapped there, and there comes Bond. Right now, you know, McGill has got to maybe change their defense a little bit as far as penetrating. They're playing basically a 4-3 defense, and I think Queens will weed it up with their option in the trap.
From the 35 now, Bond takes the first fake, and the quarterback Harrison carries himself.
Okay, on that there, I think Harrison could have pitched the ball or kept the ball. He elected to keep the football that time.
Picked up 3, met by Mark Lebrecht.
Okay, here we are. See, Harrison comes out there with the ball. A little bit confusing here now. There's an outstanding block there, and he decides to keep the football. He could have pitched it also, I think.
Greg Bond already has 86 yards in the opening quarter.
He should run this.
Harrison throws. Nice defensive play by Stephen Bailey. The pass was intended for Steve Porter. And Bailey got there just at the last possible second.
Well, I think Harrison had a little bit of room there. He could have ran it. But here we are right here. See, he fakes makes the fake on the counter, comes out here. I believe he's broken containment right here. He could have run the football right there, see, and I think he could have picked up the first down if he would have kept the football and ran it. He's got to be aware of that, you know, that to run the football if it's there. I think the pass was not really wide open. It was fairly open, but the defensive man made a great play.
So Connie Mandela will try from 38 yards away for the Queens University Golden Gales. They trail by 1. Mandela has a chance to put Queens into the lead or into a tie. He ties it up as the point is conceded by Stephen Bailey. So it's all even at Richardson Stadium in Kingston. What a great afternoon for football. We're in Kingston, Ontario, the hometown of Peter Watt. Did you know that, Tuffy?
Yeah, there's a big plaque down here. A taxi driver told me today, big plaque down there in the Civic Park or something. City Park says home of Peter Watts down there. I haven't seen it, but the taxi driver told me it was there.
It's on an old oak tree. A very old oak tree.
There's no yellow ribbon around it, though.
This is first down, McGill. And no running room that time for Andy Holman, number 23. He was met right at the line of scrimmage by George Jackson.
I think what happened on that, they tried to run a draw play, and usually your draw play doesn't work until you set up the pass. And McGill hasn't set up the pass offense that well yet, and they usually run the draw play on second down and long yardage. They're going to probably throw the ball out here to Miller this time.
This is 2nd and 10. And you're absolutely right. Miller runs right underneath it. And at the 45-yard line, he was met by Mark Burley after a gain of 41 yards. 31 yards, correct that.
Okay, here we are. Miller, he steps in, if we can see it. We didn't get a chance to. He made an excellent move inside, then broke it back to the outside. Watch this here after he catches it right there. He's a tough kid. He's going to punish you a little bit. Here we are right now from another angle. He comes out here, catches the ball. It's a well-thrown ball. It's over his outside shoulder. You don't get those intercepted. And what? Then he punishes you a little bit. I kind of like that.
First down. McGill at the 45. Add 5 more yards to the total of Mike Stanham on that play. And Gary Keenock made the tackle. He's a conference all-star, Gary Keenock, number 50. You talked about him at the outset.
Yeah, he's trying to blitz, but it's tough to blitz Crawford because he doesn't stay in that pocket. He runs around back there a lot, and it's tough to catch him back there. That's why he's so effective.
It's 2nd down. A little better than 5 to go for McGill. The ball just outside the 40-yard line of Queens. Crawford will throw. Has a man wide open. That's Ray Lalonde, and Lalonde down to the 15-yard line. A 25-yard pickup. Lalonde brought down by John Thompson, number 10.
Here we are. It's an excellent throw. He's looking at Miller, but Queens does a good job holding Miller up on the line scrimmage. He delivers that ball right in there. Excellent throw and excellent catch right there, right in the seam. That was an excellent throw there by Crawford. He delivered that ball extremely well. Here we are again, another angle. Throws in there, right in there between two guys from Queens. It's a well-thrown football there. Crawford's able to deliver the ball fairly well. He's a strong arm.
First down, McGill at the Queens University 15-yard line. Crawford may take the option himself. Now looks to the end zone. He waited too long. Crawford had some running room to the outside, but he was brought down by Steve Bodner. That moment of hesitation cost him a couple of yards.
That's right. I think he could have ran the football there.
Not necessarily for a first down.
No,
he
would have got 4 or 5 yards. He had 2 options there, actually. He could have either ran that football or he could have thrown the thing out of bounds, you know, either one. And if he's thrown out of bounds, it's 2nd and 10. Now it's 2nd and about 13. So that's tough to teach a quarterback. If you can really discipline the quarterback and get into it when it's not open, to go ahead and throw it out of bounds rather than the interception or taking a loss, you're much better off.
Crawford lost 4. This is 2nd and 14. And he's straight back this time. Time to throw. Crawford has a man at the 1-yard line. Right there was Miles Druckman, number 70. Ian Deacon made the tackle and saved the touchdown. No flags are down.
Well, here we are again. Straight drop back. it's underthrown a little bit. The receiver adjusts to this. Watch it. The ball, Crawford throws the ball from his back foot, see, and he doesn't get a lot on it. Watch the receiver come back here. See, comes back and makes a play. That's a good job on the receiver's part there, adjusting to the ball, because Crawford, here we are. Watch Crawford throw the ball off of his back foot. This is why he doesn't get much on. See, the weight is on his back foot, so it's all arm. He doesn't get any leg in it all. It's all arm, and it's tough to throw the ball and get a lot on it that way.
Touchdown for Jamie Crawford from the 1-yard line. So McGill takes the lead once more. Queens University scored the first touchdown. McGill came back to tie it up, and McGill has now moved in front. And a very impressive march engineered by Jamie Crawford, number 7, mostly through the air.
Well, I think you got the two offenses on the opposite ends of the scale. You got one team that's going to throw the football and have success and limited on the run. The other team, Queens, is going to run the football and have limited success on the pass, although Queens has had the pass well enough to be, keep you off balance.
Glenn Miller tries for the extra, and he has the convert. So McGill University Redmond lead by 7 points. And it's been very entertaining in the opening quarter. We're down to the final seconds of the first quarter, with McGill out in front 15-8.
Well, I can see right now both teams offensively are going to move the football. I think Queens' game plan right now has to be to control the football. Do not give the ball to McGill, because McGill has the ability to move it through the air and have success. So the best part that Queens can do is get the football, run the football, and be patient and try to eat up the clock.
Peter?
Well, I'm a little surprised that McGill has had as much success as it has attacking the right side of the Queens defense. 2 big passing plays, one for 45 yards to Miller and one for about 18 yards that got that first down on the 1. And they both went to the right side of the Queens defense. So I would think John Thompson will be going back over the depth chart and looking to see if he can't patch up what appears to be a big hole on that part of the Queens defensive unit.
Well, on the first touchdown to Miller, that was just Miller they were in a wrong defense. They didn't have the coverage back there. They were in short yardage situation.
This is Jamie McKinnon on the receiving end of the kickoff from Glenn Miller. And McKinnon finds the going tough near the 22-yard line. A 14-yard return stopped by Cliff Wilson and Frank Oliveri.
This is not ideal field position right now for him, John. 21-yard line. You like to get that ball out past the 30-yard line if possible on that kickoff return. So this is not the greatest field position, but it's better than they had before.
Actually, Queens had good field position on their first offensive thrust of the afternoon. But the last 3, they have lost substantial yardage on kickoff returns. This is Greg Bond, 35, to the outside. And he was met by Cliff Wilson, 42. And that's the end of quarter number 1, with the visiting McGill Redmond in front of the Queens University Golden Gales, 15-8. Great football action on TSN. Well, Tuffy, we're short one sign. Members of the Queens band have it.
Well, that's Captain TSN now, see? He's Captain TSN. He'll probably lead the band tonight later on, about 11 or 12 o'clock tonight.
That sign may end up in one of Kingston's finer watering holes this evening.
I wouldn't be surprised.
First down for Queens University. And in trouble that time, Peter Harrison. Francois Chauvin was there for McGill, so the Redmen are fired up right now. No question about that. Joe Chinze also in on the tackle.
Well, they have the momentum, right now. And as I said, I would try to keep the ball out of the hands of McGill right now. They run that ball, they pass that ball, run that offense, pass the football, move it down the field too well right now. I don't want them to have the ball as far as time possession. I like to keep it for about 14 minutes out of this quarter if I was Coach Doug Hargraves, and let them have it for a minute.
So that brings on Connie Mandela for the Golden Gales. Mandela right near his own goal line to kick it away on third down. He's number 6.
Well, right now, McGill's going to get the ball in probably their best field position.
Near the 50. That's Robin Belanger. And And he didn't have much running room at all. Belanger stopped by Greg Bond, 35.
That's just excellent punt coverage there. You know, he caught the ball right there. I don't think he picked up a yard on the play. That's just outstanding punt coverage there.
McGill will scrimmage at their own 50.
Take a look at the Queens defense as they line up for this first down. Canuck, Stewart, Hudson, Bodner, and Jackson across the front. And they're backed up by Fenning, Langford, Deacon, and Thompson. And that's the little guy, Andy Holman, number 23. Met by Jeff Kyle, 21 for Queens.
He took a couple pretty good hits in there, and they just bounced off of him, you know. Here we are here. Watch this. It's just a power pitch. He pitches it out. Now watch. As he breaks, he cuts back very nice here. Watch it. That breaks a tackle there. Let's see that hit right there. That's a pretty good hit. And look it. He ends up dragging a man for another yard. He did an outstanding job there. Just the second, third effort, really.
This is 2nd and 5 for McGill. Jamie Crawford is back. Fired it just short. And that was Miles Druckman, the intended receiver, number 70. Coverage supplied by Rick Prinzen, 25 for Queens.
Well, what's happening there, he's looking for Miller, which I can understand, and Miller's complaining a little bit right now to the official. But Queens is holding Miller up right to the line of scrimmage and not letting him get out of the backfield at all. So this is a ploy of Queens in order to stop McGill, is to try to hold Miller up at the line of scrimmage, bump him, and probably have a little double coverage on him at times, but bump him and hold him up, not let him even get started into his pattern.
Bruno Pietrobon will kick it away from McGill on 3rd down. He steps across the 45. Low kick. That's Jamie McKinnon. And not much room for McKinnon that time after a 37-yard punt by Pietrobon. And the tacklers led by Steve Niles, 43 for McGill. This telecast is protected by copyright and is intended solely for the non-commercial entertainment of our viewing audience. Any use, reproduction, or distribution in whole or in part of the pictures or descriptions herein contained without the express written consent of the Sports Network is strictly prohibited. First down for Queens. That's Dean Wilcox. And there's nowhere to go because Mark Lebrecht has penetrated.
Here we are on this. It's just a power sweep, and McGill is getting penetration. Watch this. McGill gets great penetration there. Number 63 for McGill there. Cliff, where is it? Lebrecht makes an outstanding play by getting penetration on that power sweep.
Cliff Wilson was also in on the play. A loss of 4. This is 2nd and 14.
Can run the football.
Harrison had 2 receivers, 71 and 72, side by side, Panetta and Porter, and he put it between both. Bobby Taylor was in the middle of the 2 Queens receivers.
Okay, here we are. What Harrison brings it out here, he's broken containment now. He can run the football here. See, he's throwing it. He doesn't have his shoulders squared up, and he's throwing the ball while he's moving to the left, which is difficult. You have to get your shoulders squared up here. He doesn't get his shoulders squared up. And let's watch his feet, which we've talked about so many times. Let's watch his left foot. See where it goes? The left foot is going towards the sideline. It's difficult to throw the ball very accurate when your left foot is going in that direction.
So that brings on Connie Mandela, and he will kick to one of those 2 gentlemen for McGill.
Connie Mandela, to do the punting.
Ray Lalonde or Robin Belanger. Mandela across the 10-yard line. Pretty good kick this time. On the dead run. That's Belanger. Belanger still on his feet at the 34-yard line. A 20-yard return after a 37-yard kick. Gary Kynock made the tackle.
I think he just did an excellent job. He catches a ball on a dead run, watch. Even though that's almost a clip right there. But he catches the ball on a dead run, and that is, I think, what you want your punt returners to do.
20-yard return with really no blocks on the play. He just read the pattern very well.
He caught it on a dead run, and he ran by people before they realized it.
Jamie Crawford has McGill with a first down at the 37-yard line. And a little hole now for Sanham as Sanham finds the sideline. Mark Burley, number 8, to make the tackle. He's the Queen's safety.
Queens had him stopped there, but he broke some tackles. Here we are. This is just straight ahead blocking. Watch. He comes in there. What? Right there, he breaks the tackle. Breaks another tackle there. He breaks another one right there. See, he breaks 3 tackles in the play. He did that all on his own. There was not a lot of blocking there. He just actually ran through some tackling of Queens, and the tackling was not very good right there by Queens.
First down, McGill at the Queens 20. Crawford with time. Fired behind his receiver that time. John Thompson covering on the play, and Bruno Pietrobon was the intended receiver.
That was a good job there. They just isolated, put Thompson out there on that man by himself. That's tough to cover, but he did a good job of covering there on that play.
It'll be 2nd and 10. McGill.
They're going to try to throw it to Miller this time. He's about due to catch one.
Miller's been covered very well last couple of plays. See if he gets open here. It wasn't to Miller, but it was a catch for Ray Lalonde. Ian Deacon.
It's either going to be 3rd down and about a foot, or it's going to be, I think it is. Well, I know that the spotting is a little short on that. It's going to be 3rd and a good yard.
Well, what do you do here, Coach? You've got the lead by 7.
Well, you know, no better than they run the football. They might be better off kicking a field goal.
I think they're sending in some hogs here right now. And Miller is coming out. So that means they're going to go for it.
This is a big yard. This is an awful big yard, but it's going to be tough because I don't think they run the ball that well in this situation.
3rd and a long yard to go. Holman has the football and has the first down. Met by Rick Prinzen.
Here we are.
Holman,
This straight ahead block. Watch the block of their back right there. Let's see what their backs do. Right there. See, he follows that fullback. 33 there. He gets on the fullback's tail there. Sanham. And they got right on his tail. I think that's Mike Sanham. They got right on his tail and just stayed with him. Followed him right through the hole.
It'll be first down, goal to go. McGill Redmond now at the Queens 5-yard line. Pressure on the Queens defense right now.
McGill called timeout there. They're a little bit confused, and I think you should have.
Well, I think it's a good time.
Yep.
Good time for a timeout. The score, 15-8 McGill in front of Queens. We're in the 2nd quarter in Kingston. Charlie Bailey, the winningest coach in McGill football history, looks on. He's been there for 13 years. Made it to the Vanier Cup a couple of times.
Yeah, he's been there twice. He's kind of like me, John. He's been there a couple of times, but I don't.
He hasn't won either.
Hasn't won either. No. This might be the year for him.
First and goal to go from the 5-yard line for McGill. And Holman just back to the line of scrimmage, really. Andy Holman. Rick Prinzen, a tackle that time for Queens. Queens on the season of 5-2 record. McGill 3rd in the conference at 4-3.
They got good penetration that time, Queens did, on their defense. And they were playing about a yard deep in McGill's backfield all the way across the line that time. I guess they're going to run it again because they got the big men in there.
2nd and goal to go. McGill from the 5. Crawford hangs on himself, throws to the end zone. Now they say touchdown to Miles Druckmann. He lost the football, but I guess it was in the end zone. So it is a touchdown for McGill. Norm Fenning covering on the play.
See, they did exactly what I said. I said they're going to run the football. Here they are, because they got the big guys in there to block, and they end up throwing the ball. It's touchdown because he catches the ball. He's got possession. He steps across the line right there. The ball breaks the plane. It's touchdown as soon as the ball breaks the plane.
Actually, he lost the ball, too, as he made contact with the ground.
Right.
So.
It's what even closer. That was touchdown there. Not even a close call there. So he has it. He stepped across. The ball breaks the plane. As soon as the ball breaks the plane, you can take the ball and throw it up in the stands or whatever you want to do with it. Let the air out if you want to, because once he crossed that plane, it's touchdown.
Glenn Miller looks for the point after for McGill. And he has it. So, University of McGill into a surprising, I would say, or at least somewhat surprising, 2-touchdown lead. Tuffy?
Well, I think that's right, because I think that the Queens started out, and sometimes that used to scare me as a coach a little bit. You start out and get that first touchdown, seemed like so easy. And I don't know what happens, but anytime we used to do that, I remember one time we scored one, first play of the game, we had a kid run 87 yards, and the kids come out of the game, oh, this is going to be fun today, and we struggled, I think, and they ended up winning by 1 or 2 points, and that scares you a little bit.
There's Miles Druxman, number 70, just into the background there now. There's a good look at him, and that's his first touchdown catching in Canadian college football so far in 1984.
Well, I think Queens right now has to have patience, you know, and that's the same thing I said about McGill. Have patience and don't lose your poise, but Queens helped them when they fumbled the ball on the 35.
That set up the first touchdown.
That's right. So now Queens, the shoe's on the other foot now, and Queens has to have patience. I think they can run the ball. They've proven that they can run the ball on McGill, but they have to have patience and try to get one more touchdown here before halftime, if at least one. And if they can do that, then they're right back in the ball game.
Well, 8 minutes, 42 seconds to play till halftime, so there's lots left of this football afternoon in Kingston. And an enthusiastic crowd backing the Golden Gales, despite the problems that they're having currently. There's another one. John Larson lost the football, then recovered it. Cliff Wilson was down to make sure that he had no running room after regaining possession of the ball.
Well, that's happened now. This is the third time that's happened, you know, and I'm not trying to put the whammies or the jinx on anybody, but that has definitely hurt Queens today. 3 times that their punt return or kickoff return is hurt them. One, and the ball goes between 2 fellas, and now this one here, and you just can't have that, you know, in a championship game when 2 teams are fairly evenly matched. Those are the kind of mistakes that usually get you in deep trouble.
Well, field position has really been a problem for Queens in the last 5 times they've had the football offensively. All right, the McGill University Redmen out in front of Queens, 22-8, and we'll continue on TSN after this. It is a first down for the Queens Golden Gales at the 17-yard line. Peter Harrison at quarterback, trying to make the option work. Now Harrison carries himself. And he was met by Bobby Taylor.
Tackled by Bobby Taylor.
A gain of 4.
Okay, on that play there, John, Peter misread it. He should have left the ball in his fullback. He realized his mistake, so he followed him right up through the hole. He ended up, you know, picking up 3 yards on the play, which is a good job. But he realized he misread it.
Now he has a first down. That's Greg Bond.
He might have more than that.
An open field, but for Robin Belanger. And that brings Richardson Stadium to its feet.
Well, it's the same thing. That is exactly the same play. That time, the time before, and I admire this. Here's it is, the option play. That time he leaves it in the fullback. He realized he should have done that the last time. He followed him up through the hole. So he goes right back in the huddle, calls the same play again, you know, and there it is again. Right now, McGill changed the defense to a 3-4, but it's not helped you. That does not help you on the option.
58-yard run, and that gets the Queens University Golden Gales up to the 27-yard line of McGill with a first down. Harrison, nowhere to go, and he's down in the grasp of Francois Jobin.
Well, I don't like to be critical, John, but, you know.
That's never been your style.
No, it's never been my style.
I admire that about you.
I'll tell you right now, I would run option. I would run option till the cows come home right now. You know, there they roll out to throw the football, and, you know, why? You know, they just ran the option for, I don't know, 60 yards or 50 yards. I'd come back and try it again.
Well, the option is what has brought the Queens Golden Gales this far this year. Option reverse. And this is Bessessar, the outside wide receiver. He's to the 30-yard line. Stopped by Belanger. So he ran for a lot of yards, but really not enough upfield progress.
On that play right there, he gained about 10 yards on the play, but he had second and about 18. The rollout pass got him in trouble. He had 8-yard loss. He got second and 18, so they have a fairly successful play. They gained 10 yards. They still have now third down and about 7 yards to 7-8 yards for the first down. Don't get yourself in those situations, and you don't have to get yourself out of them. That's what my mother used to tell me when I got in trouble. She said, you know, if you didn't get yourself in trouble, you wouldn't have to try to talk your way out of it. But I had a lot of practice talking my way out, as you
I
can
would
understand.
imagine you might have. It is third down, Queens. Connie Mandela is in. He will try a field goal from 36 yards away. He missed one earlier. This time it's blocked. And McGill right on top of the football at the 35-yard line. That's Steve Niles, who came through to block the field goal try by Connie Mandela. So after a big run by Greg Bond, the Golden Gales come away with no points.
See, I think McGill had 3 guys that were very close to blocking that. The kicking game has not been good for Queens today. Any phase of the kicking game has not been real good for Queens today. It's got him in a little bit of trouble.
It is first down for the Redmen just inside their own 35-yard line. Jamie Crawford now in trouble. He escapes and fires. Complete to Dave Angel, 22, who was brought down by Mark Burley.
Well,
sometimes when things are going right, they go...
That's right. But see, Crawford reminds me of Phil Scarfone from McMaster University, the quarterback. It's tough to catch him back there. You know, you'd have to have a butterfly net back there to catch him because he runs around and scrambles around. Good typical Canadian type quarterback, CFL or Canadian C.I.A.U. quarterback can scramble around back there. You have to be able to do that to play up here in this game, in this league.
26-yard pickup. It is first down. And they may throw off an option. Holman puts it up in the air this time. It's a free ball. John Thompson was defending. Ray Lalonde was the intended receiver.
Here we are, Holman. It's a pitch out. They want to make it look like a sweep. But Holman pulls up too quick. So he pulls, as soon as he catches the ball, he pulls up. He can't see. The little man can't see there, you know. It's like a shot put over top of those big 6'5"ers. And he can't see to get to who he's throwing, so he kind of throws it up for grabs. Actually, McGill is kind of lucky to come out of that with the ball not being intercepted.
That's right. They're going to have to give it away here anyway pretty quick.
Number 54 and illegally downfield.
Well, you know, I've always said I think that option pass is a nice play, but if you're going to throw it, let's let the quarterback throw it. He practices that, you know, that little back, he doesn't practice that much. He wants to knock people down and run with the football. So let's let the quarterback throw it. But I think it's good to keep you off balance. I've never had any success with it. I guess that's why I don't like it.
Well, it's always a fun play to watch, Tuffy.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's first down and 20 to go, McGill. Jamie Crawford in trouble, lost the football. I believe Queens have recovered. Steve Bodner has come up with a football. That may be the turnover that Queens needs to get back into this afternoon of football.
Well, I think that's right, and I think you could attribute that. Actually, he was looking for Glenn Miller, excuse me. He was looking for Glenn Miller. Watch it. He's got a little bit of time here. He's got time. He's looking for Miller. Miller's bumped and held up the line of scrimmage, and he's not able to throw the ball, so they end up sacking him, and Queens got a break right now. They can get back in the ball game right here.
The first down for the Golden Gales at the 35-yard line, and that's Greg Bond. And close to 5 yards for Bond that time. Stopped by Donald Byrne.
That was the option to the left that time. He picked up a good 4 yards. You know, I keep coming at him right now because they're in 3-down territory where they can run the ball 3 times at McGill.
Greg Bond has an average of 16 yards per carry so far. And he'll add to the total with that carry. Still short of the first down.
It's going to be about 3rd and 1.5. Where they're, like I said, they're in 3rd down territory. They can crank it at him right again.
And they might as well. 3rd down. Well, it may be a long yard. Peter, have you agreed with anything that Tuffy has said this afternoon?
Sorry, John, it's a little loud down on the sideline.
I say, have you agreed with anything that Tuffy has said here today?
Well, certainly the field position has been a problem for the Gales, and certainly the special teams has left a lot to be desired. But right now, with a turnover in their favor, let's see what they can do on 3rd down and 2.
Flags are down as Harrison hands off. And Bond, the carrier, once more.
Well, he has the first down, but I don't know sure who the penalty's on.
They're talking
McGill.
McGill.
Yeah, they either lined up. I think they might have lined up offside.
Flag went down in a hurry, didn't
Yeah.
it?
McGill offside, number 53.
Francois Jobin. So it'll be a first down for the Golden Gales. The ball now at the 21-yard line. Good fake by Harrison, who looks to the end zone. Touchdown! John Larson in front of Bailey and Belanger.
He did a good job there that time. Got himself set and delivered. That's as well as I've seen Harrison throw the ball that time. It was an excellent pass that time. Here we are here. Fakes the power sweep. Come outside. Gets himself. Look at his feet again. See? I'd like to see that. If we could see that again, I want you to watch. See that ball delivered right on the butt. If we could see that again there, you'll see his feet from a different angle here. Watch his foot, his left foot here as he throws. See, look at that toe. See, going right towards the receiver. And as I said, this ball was thrown as well as I've seen Harrison throw the ball. Right on the butt. It depends, you know, people look at where you put those feet is very important.
Connie Mandela adds to the total, so the Queens University Golden Gales get within a touchdown of McGill, and still lots of action remaining in the first half at Kingston.
Well, the turnovers helped him there.
Certainly did. The score, McGill 22 and Queens 15. We're in the second quarter at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, and it's a beautiful afternoon for football. Another turnover, or at least a break for Queens. I guess you have to call that a turnover. Louis Oliveira had the ball hit him at the line of scrimmage, and it was recovered by Gary Kinnock on the kickoff by Connie Mandela. Once more.
Here we are. It hits him. You don't see it. The ball, he turned around to go back to set up the offensive blocking. The ball hit him in the back, bounced right back to Queens. So Queens in field position again, you know.
Well, the thing is, the ball had to travel 10 yards. There's no question about that.
No, it didn't have to go 10 yards, John, when it hits the defender. See,
no, but the defender is lined up there.
Yeah, he's 10 yards.
He's 10 yards away.
Went
So
10, it did
go 10
right.
yards, and
but it hit and bounced back right towards the guy from Queens. I think the official must have got hit over there on the sideline. I think that's the official down over there.
He's being attended to by the training staff of McGill. We're not sure which one of the officials it is. It is not the referee, of course, Neil Thompson.
I couldn't see what happened over there. That's clear across the field. I don't know if someone just ran into him or exactly how it did happen.
Gord Smith is the injured official, and they continue attending to him. Peter, we're very impressed with your old home university and the enthusiasm for football here this afternoon.
Nice to do a college game in this country where there's a bit of a crowd here. It looked a little bit suspect at the start. The fans a little bit late getting here. Normal game time is at 2 o'clock, and of course it's been pushed up to 1 today to accommodate our telecast. But there's all 3,000 over there on the far side, and they're having a good time with a little more to cheer about in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, we've got actually Captain TSN there, and Super TSN riding around on the bike with their cape, TSN cape on their back there. Really looks nice, you know.
Well, it does, and you know, Bill Sparrow is the sports information director here at Queens, and he was telling me that the young man on the back of that bike is blind. He's a student, and he's in the band, and he's here, and he's having a good time, but he is not going to be allowed to pilot that bike as far as we can determine.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, though. He's wearing he's the one, I think, wearing the TSN cape. So he probably thinks he's Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel TSN, or Super TSN.
I'm a little surprised, too, Tuffy, that there's still one TSN banner up on the east side grandstand. We've been here for a couple of hours now, and those banners have been up when we got here, and there's one still hanging there.
Well, they actually took off Gord Smith, the official. Had to carry him off. Looked like it's his ankle or knee. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I didn't see that at all. But we will now play this game with 4 officials. And at times, you know, that's not bad, because I can remember when we used to play with 3.
There's the remaining banner. Now, they were taking bets on how long they'd last. This one has outlived its original estimate anyway.
Tuffy, I don't know if you've had a chance to develop the line of scrimmage contact, but I'm certainly impressed with the way the McGill defensive line has been able to get through that blocking and shut off the Queens running attack on occasion. Now, they haven't been able to do it consistently enough to be really effective, but that may be something you want to develop, because the Redmond defensive line is not being blown away on every play by any means.
I don't think you can take them on one-on-one. They may be too good for that. So Queens has had their best luck either trying to trap them or run the option. Now, to run the option, you're getting some double teams. You know what we mean by double team? You're getting 2 men blocking on 1 on that option play, and that's why they had some success with that. When you take them on one-on-one, McGill's able to probably shut that down and do a little better job.
This is 2nd down and 9 for Queens now at the 45-yard line. Greg Vaughn took the fake, and Peter Harrison took the football. Harrison then pitched out for Dean Wilcox, and Wilcox has substantial yardage, stopped by Colin Ross and Robin Belanger.
Okay, here's the first option. Fake the fullback. See 61, take the fullback. There comes Harrison out. His second option is for him to carry it. Just as he gets hit there, he pitches it to the third option man. That's why it's called a triple option. You have 3 things that you can do with the football. You have the fullback, 1 option, quarterback is the second option, and the trail halfback is the third option. They called holding on the play, but that was a well-executed option play. And if there's anything more exciting in the game of football than that, I don't know what it is.
Great fake by Greg Bond into the line there, Tuffy.
That was an outstanding fake, and the key was that Harrison read it. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you read that. If the defensive man takes him, you take it out. If he doesn't take him, you leave it in. Whatever he does is wrong.
Here's the situation. Queens gets a first down because the penalty was after, and now this is Wilcox. And Wilcox has a chance. He almost broke it away. A 30-yard pickup for Wilcox. Bobby Taylor brought him down. And Robin Belanger also in on the tackle.
Here we are, 55 traps, just a trap. He kicks out there, you know, give him the thing to Wilcox. He cuts back, does a great job once he gets to the open field. Breaks a tackle there, stumbles a little bit. Otherwise, if he doesn't stumble, I think it's touchdown. That's a good job there for the trap man for Mike Shadd, the offensive tackle.
First down, Queens at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Harrison looks to the end zone. Oh, last possible second. Bessessar couldn't bring it home as Denny Touchette was covering. Touchette, a conference all-star from McGill. And they made it look very close that time.
Yeah, that was a close play.
Close.
He had him beat, but the ball was thrown just a little bit high. If the ball had been thrown down a little bit, I think he could have made the play. He threw it up high, and the defensive man was behind him, and he's able to make the play.
McGill leads by a touchdown. It's 22-15. This is 2nd down and goal to go for Queens from the 10. Greg Bond.
As you can see on that, Harrison knew that he misread it. He misread the play. He knew he shouldn't have left the ball in, Bond, and he smacked his hands together. Watch this. Here we are. Watch. See 61 there. He takes Bond. Harrison knew that he misread it right away. That 61 had Bond, and the concept is take the ball out and come on down the line with it. He knew he misread it as soon as he did it. But like I said, it isn't like you have 4 or 5 seconds to make up your mind. It's like split second. You leave it in or take it out, and you have to make the decision immediately.
Well, it'll be Queens going on 3rd down for 3 points on the foot of Connie Mandela.
Queens is probably very content right now. You know, they were down 22-8, and they could come out of this half 22-18, I think. And, you know, they're back. It's an even ball game, 22-18 right now.
Last time Mandela tried the field goal, it was blocked. I'm sure the adjustments have been made.
Yeah, I've conceded 3 points, and I shouldn't have done that because he hadn't made it yet.
Blocked again. And McGill come up with the football at the 27-yard line.
That's what happens when you concede to 3. See, start counting it before it happens, you know.
Peter Shea for McGill, number 61. So that's 2 in a row that have been blocked by the McGill Redmen.
Well, I made a mistake. I started to count my chickens before they hatched, see?
And as an old coach, you should know better.
Know better than that, right. Obviously, McGill has found something, some way that they're able to get in there and block that kick. Now, you know, sometimes a guy will come off the sideline and say, Coach, I can get in there. If you shoot someone on the inside gap, I can go on the outside and I can get in there and block it. And obviously, McGill has seen something that has given them, you know, given them a tip where they think they can block the daggone kick. Now, I don't know if it came over the same place, same area or not, but it's very upsetting. I'm sure to Coach Hargraves that this would happen when you could actually been in within 5 points of McGill.
An injured McGill Redmond down near the 30-yard line. We're unable to see his number from our vantage point. It is Peter Shea, they tell us now. He recovered the block punch just a moment ago.
Well, I could see visions of him picking the thing up and continuing to run with it, but he couldn't quite scoop it up. But Peter Shea's a defensive tackle. He's the one I think has been stopping that they read that option, but I think he looks like he's all right there.
So an impressive drive by Queens falls a little bit short. They're short on the scoreboard by 1 complete touchdown. 2 minutes, 11 seconds to play till halftime. First down, McGill at the 25. Crawford puts it up. And he threw it just a little behind Glenn Miller that time. Russ Clitheroe, 13 for Queens, covering.
Well, it goes back again, which we've talked about. Here we are right now. He's got time, but he's got to throw the ball over the outside shoulder. And it's see, it's over his inside. He turns around and see inside, and it's underthrown. If he throws over the outside shoulder where he's either going to catch it or go out of bounds, and I've said that last few weeks, that's where you want to throw that pass. I think Miller might have had the man beat if he could have delivered the ball out there.
2nd and 10, McGill. Crawford is intercepted this time. Picked off by number 44, Tom Langford. So another turnover. We'll see what the Queens Golden Gales can do with it this time. They powered in for a touchdown on a turnover earlier, and it might even be even at halftime.
Well, I think what happened, he was trying to throw the ball to Glenn Miller cutting across the middle. When you got a great receiver like that, you have a tendency to want to throw the ball to him too much, see? And that's kind of scary when you have a receiver that you want to get the ball to him because he has great athletic ability. And that's what he was trying to do, and he tried to force the ball. Crawford tried to force it in there, and Queens is in great position right now.
Greg Bond.
Nope, that was a quarterback, Harrison, I think. John.
Stopped by Phil Sakatz. Peter Harrison.
Yep.
Stand corrected.
I think Harrison misread it again. He should have left the ball in Bond, and he followed him up through the hole. As soon as he realized his mistake, he followed him up through the hole. He might come right back at this with this time, and you can't predetermine what you're going to do with it.
This is Harrison, and Harrison down to the 2-yard line.
Touchdown, John.
Touchdown.
It's the second option out of the 3. Make the fullback in there. Here we are. Fakes the fullback in there. Comes out, brings it out. He loses a little bit off bounds there. Comes out and keeps it. You know, it's tough. It's tough to defend that. I'll tell you. That's what I said at the beginning of the show. The best play in football.
Just
best
made
running
it
play.
Inside that corner.
Yeah, he dove right in there, landed right on top of the post, and that's a touchdown. The ball touches the corner flag, goal line, sideline flag. That's a touchdown.
So with 1 minute, 31 seconds to play in the half, the Golden Gales stand ready to tie things up. Connie Mandela. No mistake that time as Mandela puts it through. And it's been a great first half of football here. All even with just about 1.5 minutes to play till halftime.
Well, we played 13 minutes, or actually 13 minutes, or this quarter and a half, and 15 minutes the other. It's 28.5 minutes, and we're right back to square one.
Well, that makes it a lot of fun. So Queens back with 2 touchdowns, both the results of turnovers.
Yep, that's right. Harrison ran that 23 yards out. And like I said, that was the second option on of the triple option. And Harrison just lugged her right in there. And Queens has had, they have proved they can run the football. If they would just have patience and do that today. They have ran the football extremely well, in my opinion, against McGill this afternoon. What's got them in trouble is when they've got themselves in a situation where it's 2nd and 12, 2nd and 15, 2nd and 18, then they've had to revert to get out of their game plan, I think, out of their game plan.
Connie Mandela kicks it off. That's Robin Belanger. He was met by Scott Bessessar. And the Redmen will now start fairly deep in their own zone, near the 25.
Here we are. He should probably kept the ball inside. He comes up here and tries to break it to the outside here. And as he brings it up, Queen has great containment here, right there. They didn't. Last time he did that, he had some daylight outside. Queens committed too quickly. That time they didn't. Good coverage.
First down, McGill. Crawford back. And this is Hallman. 23, met by Rick Crimson. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7 yards.
1 minute, 21 seconds to play, first half. Holman moves very well for a lad of 5 feet 4.5 inches. This is Hallman once more. Appeared to be stopped. Now he made a pick up a yard. He'll be short of the first down, though. Stephen Stewart.
It's going to be very close. It's going to be very close, John. I think they're either going to miss it by, half a yard or make it by half a yard. I think they're going to be, I would guess they're going to be about the length of the ball, short.
And the officials have called for a measurement.
There's a man down from Queens. I can't pick up the number.
Hard to see from up here, Tuffy, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I saw him down here a few minutes ago.
Peter, while we have a moment, what's on at halftime?
Halftime, we're going to have a chance to talk to Greg Bond of the Queens Golden Gales. He's had a tremendous year, and he's had a pretty good first half with unofficially somewhere around 150 yards rushing, and a lot of it along the right side of the Queens offense. That's where he seems to favor running the football. We'll try and develop that with him.
Okay, well, you saw the measurements.
Yep, ball in short. Yep, ball in short now. Whether they're going to go for it or not. I'll tell you what, there's 1 minute 9 seconds left. You go for it, you don't make it, you can just about say that the Queens will score again. At least a field goal or put some form of points on the board.
Steve Hudson, the injured player for the Golden Gales.
He's a nose guard there. Important man in their 3-man line. Can't tell whether it's his knee or ankle, but he seems to be walking fairly well, so might be his knee because I see his pants is rolled up there. His knee pad is dangling, but he's walking fairly well on it, so he'd be a key man in their defensive scheme.
It is 3rd down, less than a yard to go for McGill, and they gamble here.
I think Crawford has it.
Should be enough for the first down. Jamie Crawford straight ahead. I was looking for flags. There are none.
Nope.
And he's got out for the first down.
A light breeze here in Kingston this afternoon, but really not a major factor in the football action on the field at all.
Not at all. That type of breeze is just enough to keep you a little bit cool, but it's not going to affect the pass, the punting part of the game at all.
First down, McGill. 41 seconds on the clock till halftime. Crawford looks one way, goes to the other side. As his man, Glenn Miller once more. Miller, an outstanding receiver for McGill. He's an all-star at wide receiver, and he's also the all-star kicker in the league, as well as the leading scorer.
Right, he's a good athlete. You know, that ball there was thrown well, and McGill now is going to call, no, Queens calls timeout. So there's about 30 seconds left in the half. McGill gets another first down. I don't know if they're a field goal kicker or what kind of range he has, but they're going to be in field goal range if they could get another first half. The word we get that he can kick it in there from 40 yards without any trouble at all.
That's Harry Zerns, our spotter from McGill, offering that information in the background. Spotting for us from Queens is Mark Delich, and they're doing an outstanding job this afternoon, Tuffy.
Yeah, without these guys, we'll be lost. Cause, we need those names on the back of the shirts, you know. That makes it a little easier, but with our spotters, we're able to compensate for that. Trouble with Laurier, when I used to be at Laurier, we didn't put names on the back of the shirts because we had to use that shirt for 10 years, you know.
Well, and
the same
also
shirt.
3 different sports, too.
Yeah, that's right, in all 3 sports, right? Football, basketball, and hockey. So.
You were lucky in those days to have numbers on them, weren't you?
That's true. We'd have to put it on with pencils sometimes.
First down, McGill. The intended receiver was Dave Angel, and the coverage supplied by John Thompson. Without Thompson, we could have seen 6 points more on the McGill total.
Here we are. Crawford does a great job. Watch his feet again. Throws a ball. Not a real good step. Strong-armed it. Not a real good step. But the ball is there. Watch. Right through his arm. That takes great concentration to make that catch, though, because that's the defensive back there, Thompson, did a pretty good job. He was kind of stride for stride with it. And Crawford threw the ball fairly well. That's just strong-arming it down there.
This is 2nd and 10, McGill. Crawford, same general area this time. He has a completion to Glenn Miller. Rick Princeton made the tackle, a 13-yard pickup, and 19 seconds on the clock.
Here we are here. Crawford rolls out here, running to his right, and he's left-handed, makes it difficult to throw the ball. Watch, throws the ball there. Watch Miller. Like I said, he's a receiver. He goes after the football. He's hungry for the ball. And that's what great receivers, you know, like Terry Greer and people like that, that's what great receivers, why they are great, because you throw the ball any place in their area, and they go get it. And Miller is like that. And they've got 19 seconds, so they possibly could have one more play before field goal comes up.
This is Richardson Stadium. We're in Kingston, Ontario, and semifinal action this afternoon between McGill and Queens in the Quebec-Ontario Football Conference.
Well, we have a nice crowd here today, John. It's very enthusiastic. It's a good football afternoon.
Crawford over the middle. And that time Miller really held on to that football with one hand, didn't he?
That's right. The guy grabbed him.
Was covering.
The man grabbed him, had great coverage on him, and he just reached out and caught the ball with one hand. Here we are, if we can see it. The ball was thrown down and low where he should throw. Watch it. He catches that ball. See, almost with left hand, because the guy almost had a hold of it. Here we are, another angle on it. Crawford comes back, delivers the ball down on across the middle where you're supposed to throw it down low. Watch this. There it is. See, that ball is caught there. Miller is going to catch that ball when you throw it to him. I'll tell you that. There was a deep man there, but I can see that they like to go with Miller, and why shouldn't you? He's one of the leading receivers, and when quarterbacks like to throw the ball to people that they know is going to catch it. It helps their statistics.
Barry Caceres, the injured McGill Redmond, and they're attending to him still at the 40-yard line. Here's a look at the offense for McGill. Glenn Miller, an impressive afternoon, no question about it. 73 yards in receiving.
That play only took 6 seconds, so I think McGill's going to try one more before they think they have to revert to the field goal.
They're inside the 25 at the 22-yard line. Jamie Crawford has been over chatting it up with head coach Charlie Bailey on the sidelines. He trots back in right now as Perry Caceres moves to the sidelines under his own power, so he should be back. And it is a first down for McGill at the 22-yard line of Queens.
They're going to have to hurry.
10 seconds.
If they don't get this play off, they may not have time for the field goal. It's going to be, they're not going to have time for the field goal, I don't
Crawford
think.
has to go for the touchdown. Looks long. And there is no flag down on the play. Russ Clitheroe was covering on Glenn Miller that time. And is that the final play? Yes, it is the final play of the first half. So it ends very evenly here in Kingston, the first half of football action this afternoon. This is Canadian College football on TSN.
It is halftime here at Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. A very entertaining football game, and a couple of late touchdowns by the Queens Golden Gales in the second quarter have kept the game close, and I think that's what the Gales would certainly like to have had happen after falling a little bit behind as a result of a couple of turnovers. One of the young men who has been a tremendous performer for the Gales this year is Greg Bond. He comes by his athletic ability honestly. His father, a great defenseman for many years with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Greg establishing himself in his own right as a great athlete here at Queens and running hard out of that wishbone offense.
Yeah, today it's working rather well for us. Traditionally, McGill has been kind of hard-pressed to stop our option, and that's basically what we're going to today. And fortunately, I've had the opportunity to break a couple of long runs, and it's going fairly well for the offense.
Greg, I think we have something queued up to run here. If you could just refer over to this monitor, and perhaps we can look at one or two of your plays. Okay. We don't have any yet. Okay, we'll talk about a couple of other things with this offensive unit. This is a little different ball game than the first one against McGill in September.
Yeah, well, not really though, because in the first game, both defenses started off really slowly, and it looked like it was just the offense would get on, our offense would get on, score a touchdown, their offense, it was seesawing back and forth. And today, it's pretty well going the same way. Our defense is rather slow starting today, but hopefully in the second half, they'll be able to come us strong, and our offense will take over in the game.
Turnover is a key part of that first half. You looked to be in control there for a while, and then the one turnover, McGill turned it into a touchdown, and all of a sudden they got rolling after that.
Yeah, that's what happened in my first game, too. I just mishandled the handoff, and they got the ball back and went in and scored, but we recovered from that and came back and blew them off the field. So hopefully we can do that again today.
Where and how and why did the wishbone offense ever show up in the Queens offensive philosophy?
Well, our quarterback, Peter Harrison's been running it since high school, and his father was one of the first guys in Canada really to bring the wishbone up into Canada. And so Peter's been pretty well running it since his high school days, so he just, brought it with his abilities into our program, and fortunately it's worked very well for us.
It certainly has worked very well for you. You don't mind it at all.
No, I don't mind, especially when they give me the ball. But also I don't mind plugging in there for and taking the fake, and hopefully that last touchdown I got hit by 3 guys, and that enabled Peter to go around the end and pretty well walk in.
You seem to run it to the right side a little bit more effectively. Is there any particular reason for that?
I feel a lot more comfortable running to the right, and probably Peter, being right-handed, probably feels a lot more comfortable running it to the right. But we're able to run it both ways. Our line on the right might be a little bit stronger. Charlie Galunik, our new offensive guard, is just a heck of a ball player. He's doing a fine job.
And certainly Dean Wilcox, when he's been called upon, has been very effective running inside.
Yeah, his Dean's very small, but he's shifty, and it's a very deceptive speed, and he's doing a heck of a job for us.
Briefly now, a comment on the second half. Tied ball game, all even now, and away you go in the third quarter. What do you have to do to beat McGill?
I think if our offense comes out and takes control of the game, I think it'll be a washout like the last game, hopefully.
Okay. Greg, thanks for being with us.
No problem.
All the best in the second half.
Take care.
Greg Bond, fine young running back for the Queens Golden Gales. We're back with more on the second half intermission in just a moment.
It's all even at halftime. Canadian college football, we're into the playoffs. McGill Redmond 22 and the Queens Golden Gales 22. Tuffy, I enjoyed that first half of football. Lots of excitement, and of course Queens coming back to get even. And we didn't really think it would be this close, did we?
Well, no, I don't think we did, but I think anyone that did enjoy this first half of football has to not be a football fan, because both teams moved the football, 2 different concepts, one passing, one running. And so if you didn't enjoy that, you had to be a little bit, not a sports fan.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the highlights you've chosen for us. Where do you want to begin? Is that with the Bond, the big run by Greg Bond?
Yes, here we are here. This is one of the first plays, the trap play there, and come out there, and we trap, and Bond hits up in there. And right off tackle, hit up in there, and then he breaks it to the outside. Outstanding run. Now, this is the second play of the game, which I think has a tendency to demoralize and put McGill down a little bit. There he takes on the blocker there and drops his shoulder, and you like to see all good fullbacks do that, where they're going to punish the man as he gets tackled.
Now, if McGill was demoralized, it really didn't last very long because they came back and scored the next 3 touchdowns. And let's take a look at the Harrison touchdown now for Queens. This is the one that I missed. He went to the far corner of the field, and it was tough to see.
This is the second option on out of the triple option. Your first option is a fullback. There it is. It's not open. See, Bond hits in there. He gets tackled. Harris takes the ball out brings it on himself and keeps it. Breaks the thing out there and runs the thing right down and then kind of just dives in there right at the end and lands on top of the flag. That's your second option of the triple option. And it's a wishbone formation, but your options are 1, 2, and 3, where the fullback, quarterback, halfback.
Now, we've seen some outstanding receivers this afternoon, and of course, we have to mention Glenn Miller, who has had a great football game. And in concert with quarterback Jamie Crawford, they've been a pretty good pair.
Well, I'm impressed with him because here we are here. Crawford comes out. This is a touchdown here. And he comes out and he throws the ball. And the thing that impresses me about Miller is he goes after the football. What? He goes up in the air high to catch this one. Watch. And the ball is caught in his hands. So when that ball takes the body, it has a tendency to bounce away from you. He catches the ball in the hand like you're supposed to, and you try to teach receivers. Here, you know, he does a good job of getting away from the rush, and he throws the ball there off balance. It's not a real well-thrown ball. It has some stuff on it because he's strong-armed, but Miller goes up in the air and gets the thing. That's the thing that I like about him.
It's actually been 2 football games in a way. When we looked at Queens taking its first possession all the way upfield for the touchdown, then it really looked, you mentioned it might have demoralized McGill, but somehow they got things going, really a turnover. Got McGill back into the game. Then they scored the next 2 touchdowns. Now, Queens had to come back to get even at halftime.
That's right. I think what you talk about momentum, and people talk about the old momentum, you know, how he's going to do for you that day. And it started out with Queens had the momentum. They looked like they were going to blow them away. They got a turnover. McGill come back and got the momentum. Of course, 3 touchdowns. In the last 5 minutes of the daggone half, the momentum went back to Queens again, and Queens controlled the game. Now, I think the thing that might be a little bit discouraging to McGill and upsetting to the coaching staff was that they had the ball down very close field goal range, and time ran out on them. You know, they wanted to run that last play with about 1 second left on it, and so they could try the field goal, and that didn't happen. So the coaches had to be a little bit upset probably with themselves in that respect.
Well, it looked to me like they just took a little too long getting the football into play because there was 14 seconds on the clock. You should be able to run a play in 14 seconds, but it took Crawford a while to get the pass away.
That's right. I think I think what happened, he got up to the line of scrimmage, and instead of snapping the ball on a short count, he might have taken a long count to get the offensive set. It took too long.
Okay, Tuffy, thank you very much. Peter Watts is next. We continue with Canadian college football on TSN.
22-22. Very entertaining football game here at George Richardson Stadium in Kingston. The Gales and the McGill Redmen locked in a tie at halftime. Happy to welcome Jack Kearney, the referee-in-chief for this conference, and also for the Ontario Universities Athletic Association, who's with us. And he had a difficult job to do late in the second quarter. Jack, one of your officials went down.
Yes, Gordy Smith got a minor tear of the ligament in his left knee. So he'll be finished for today, at least.
But he said don't book him for next week, but keep him in mind.
Don't book him for next week, that's right.
And you're going to be able to replace him in the second half?
We have a replacement coming now. He's dressed and ready to go.
It brings to mind the training programs that the officials go through as well to get ready for this level of football. Do you have problems getting officials to do this level?
Not basically. There are all sorts of people who would like to be part of the college panel. We do have a problem sometimes in getting the quality we like, depending on the training program that the local associations carry out. That is where we depend on the basic to be done as we go through the minor leagues and junior ball and so on.
How much do you grade the officials, and how much can you work with them in improving their play on the field?
Well, I'm grading a crew of officials every week, and I will work with them in clinics and also review with them what I see on the games, plus what my observers send to me. And that way we hope to be able to criticize them constructively in order to improve their work.
Holding seems to be a popular penalty in the Canadian Football League this year. I don't know if that's the same way in college. I wonder if that has been your observation and whether or not the officials are calling it more because they think it intrudes on the play too much.
Well, we changed the rule this year from previous years, and I think we've affected a little bit of improvement. There doesn't seem to be quite as much holding, at least what I've seen on the statistics, as we had last year.
What is the penalty in the college game that seems to crop up more than anything else, that perhaps is enforced simply because it's there as a safety factor for players?
Well, basically, we watch unnecessary roughness very, very closely. We don't allow rough play or anything that even looks like it. Anything like spearing or this type of thing, use of the head, which of course puts the player doing it in jeopardy because he can break his own neck. So we emphasize anything that has to do with safety, particularly in that type of play.
Jack, I had a chance to talk to Doug Mitchell, the CFL commissioner, a few days ago, and he was saying that he's trying to work harder in his league with the officials there. Do you find a lot of officials at this level are interested in moving up to the pros?
Oh, I would say most of them are. Anyone who is in the age bracket, the competency, I think would like to move into the CFL.
You have a good working relationship with the league, or is it pretty much at arm's length?
Well, it all depends. We have had good relationships and sometimes not so good. But we've sent a number of people up to the CFL at different times.
And you'll be looking to do the same thing again?
I'm willing anytime they have a need, why we can try to help them, we will.
Jack, thank you for being with us today.
Pleasure.
Jack Kearney, the referee-in-chief of the Ontario Universities Athletic Association and also the Ontario-Quebec Conference. He's here grading the officials today, and we'll see how they do, and we'll see how the two teams do when second half action returns to George Richardson Stadium in Kingston after this timeout.
The stat story of that first half, almost as close as the score, which is dead even. And as we talked, rushing was going to be the forte of Queens. That's exactly what it was, 243 yards. But passing, the forte of McGill, 187 yards, for totals of 241 for McGill and 299 for Queens. It is 3 penalties each for 20 yards, and we're ready for second half action here at George Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. The McGill Redmen will kick it off, and that's Glenn Miller. Good kick. Taken by John Larson. And Larson found a little room. He's out to the 30-yard line. A 23-yard return, stopped by Vince Gagne. And Greg Foss.
All right, here we are. This time he handles the kickoff fairly well there. Comes up, and he's trying to find a seam. McGill does there's a good job busting up the wedge there, but number 24 McGill, and they actually stop him on about the 29-yard line, which is anytime you stop and hold him inside of 30, that's a pretty good job covering your kickoff.
Tuffy, Ray Piper is the new head linesman. He replaces the injured Gord Smith, so we're back to a full complement of officials as we get ready for the first offensive sequence for Queens. This is Dean Wilcox, and Wilcox has great speed and running room. He actually tripped at the 45-yard line. We're chuckling. Somebody handed us a tray of donuts here. Steve Bailey made the tackle. They look pretty good, Tuffy.
All right, here we go right now. He hits off tackle there. They trap. See, there they trap. Good block right there. And he just, there he breaks a tackle. See, the little man breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle there, stumbles, keeps his balance for another 10 yards after he was hit. I probably won't be talking now much, John, because they got some donuts up here.
Yeah, there's a half dozen very nice donuts there for you, Tuffy. You go ahead. This is the quarterback, Peter Harrison. And Harrison inside the 35.
That's the option, and that's the second option where Harrison keeps it there. And they're just going to run the ball like that. It's a 10-yard gain. I think right now, if Queens can do what they're doing right now and not get impatient, they'll have McGill up a tree.
46 yards in 2 plays, 36 for Wilcox. Add 10 more for the quarterback Harrison. It's first down Queens inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. Dean Wilcox, and Wilcox should have a first down. He was met by Mark Lebrecht, number 63 of McGill.
Now Stewart, the right guard from McGill, pulls here and kicks out there. He is 53, pulls and blocks out. Watch his block there. Oh, excellent block there. And then he cut right up off his tail, right up inside. Big gain, big gain. Here we are again. Watch the pull and trap. There it is, right there. It's a good trap, and he cuts it up inside. Now, Queens does this very well. They'll trap you, and they've got some big linemen to come out there. They'll trap you and run the option at you.
Dean Wilcox. Both Wilcox and Greg Bond now over 100 yards. Bobby Taylor made the tackle for McGill. So 2 runners in that Gales backfield have totaled over 100.
Well, as I said, I like this type of football myself, where you're keeping the ball and you're controlling it. Don't give the other team a chance to take the football. And McGill, they don't have the football. Crawford and Miller and company can't beat you.
Second down, 1 yard to go. And they have the first down easily inside the 5-yard line. That time, Greg Bond. Stopped by Stephen Bailey. So the Golden Gales come out quickly. And they threaten to score here with a first down and goal to go from the 5.
Well, they just run the ball right at him. There's Bond. He just gets up there. That's just straight ahead, one-on-one blocking with Bond running up through there. That's a pretty good lick there, John. I heard that all the way up here. That was a pretty good lick right there.
Greg Bond once more.
He's down there now to about the 4-yard line, 5-yard line, where they're going to, I guess 4-yard line. They're going to try to stuff it right at him.
It'll be second down, goal to go from that position. It is the 4-yard line, Tuffy. You're right. Have a donut. Go ahead.
I've had 3 while you were just talking.
Harrison kept it himself. And he's short of the touchdown. Peter Shea, number 62.
Now, on that option here, Harrison doesn't get a good ride on the fullback. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Watch, he doesn't get the ball in the fullback very well. He didn't get a good ride. We call that a ride. You got to get the ball in the fullback's stomach, or otherwise he's not a threat to carry it. And Harrison didn't get it in there very well that time. So, hey, it's kind of time right now. You know, it's 3rd down and 1, and if they score, all right, if not, McGill's going to be fired up.
3rd down. Goal to go. Flags are down.
Offsides on McGill.
Really not going to help very much, is it?
Well, I don't know. I can't recall what that rule is. If it's offsides, they maybe it's half the distance to the goal line, but it can't go closer than the 1. So I don't know.
That's going to give him another down out of it, certainly.
I don't know. Right, there's a move by McGill, see? The man was no question about it. So I don't know if
they have McGill offside 50. First down.
Automatic first down. That's what I thought that rule was. I wasn't sure on that, but that's automatic first down, which is costly.
So 3 tries now for the Golden Gales from the 1-yard line. And they can hardly miss from here the way they've been running the football. Greg Bond, and they say touchdown.
Well, very late call. Very late call.
It was late.
Yeah, he whistle, you know, looked like his momentum might have stopped before he gave that signal. I don't like the official. Either he's over or
there was definite hesitation,
yeah,
wasn't there?
There was some hesitation there. Yeah, I don't like to see that. I like to see you either call it or you don't call it. You can't tell. And the man calls it here, which is the appropriate man on this side of the pile. Of course, he's a big guy, official big guy there. He could probably see over that pile, but I couldn't see over it myself.
So the Queens University Golden Gales have the lead for the first time since the first quarter. And Connie Mandela will look to add to the total and make it a 7-point advantage. He's good. So Connie Mandela and the Queens Golden Gales have moved out in front of McGill by 29-22. On the sidelines, Doug Hargraves has to be smiling a little bit. If he'd turn around, we'd see if the smile had crept across his face. Not quite. I guess it's not...
Too early. Too early yet. Too early to smile yet.
But he's back in the lead, and he's been very impressive on this last drive, no doubt.
It's too early to smile yet.
Mandela, a short kick this time. Taken by Oliveri. And he's still standing at the 44-yard line. George Jackson to make the tackle for Queens. A 21-yard return.
He was looking, watch, he starts looking here in a minute for someone there. He wants to give it to one of those speedy backs, see? But he does a good job anyway. He brings it up here. A great job there breaking some tackles. Got the ball actually in excellent field position at the 43-yard line.
It is first down for McGill at the 43-yard line. Crawford has some problems. Joe Valente made the tackle. Looked like a bit of a mix-up.
Well, I'm not sure if it was a mix-up or it was a quarterback draw, John. It could have been a quarterback draw there. If it was a quarterback draw, he could have hesitated a little longer. And I couldn't tell which it was, whether he mixed up or it was an actual play.
Actually, he gains 4 yards, so
not bad.
They
not
should
bad.
Maybe put it in the book.
Yeah, not bad mix-up. I think it was a quarterback draw, really.
It was not that well executed, but it was effective, I suppose. This time, Crawford will throw, or will he? got it away. And he fired a little high in the grasp of Joe Valenti.
Queens had great pressure on him that time. Here we are right here. Watch it. The pocket collapses. Watch. See, they're driving those guys right back into his face. Watch. Here we are. See, it's too much pressure. You don't complete a lot of passes when guys are hanging on both arms. See, and Queens put a lot of pressure on him that time, and his pocket collapsed.
It'll be third down as Pietrobon stands near his 30-yard line. Keeps it low this time. Bouncing once. Taken by John Larson. And Larson finds the 35-yard line for a 6-yard return, and that's all. So when we return, McGill will have a first down, and Glenn McDonald leading the tacklers there. Queens leading McGill 29-22. It'll be a first down for the Queens University Golden Gales from the 35-yard line. They're in front of McGill by 1 touchdown. Good afternoon for football here in Kingston at George Richardson Stadium. Dean Wilcox. Wilcox has the first down and yards to spare. Wilcox has a wide open football field. One man can catch him. And he's still standing in for he stopped. Touchdown. He stumbled across the goal line. Dean Wilcox began at his own 35-yard line, making a 75-yard touchdown. 2 in a row for the Golden Gales.
Here we are. We pull out. 53 pulls out there. Traps out, kicks out. There he's leading the play. Watch him. He's right there. It's a good enough block. Good enough block. Well, see, he's waiting now for somebody. That's a good job of running back. He sits there and waits to see what happens, and he splits the seam here. That's this one. Don't hit that man. If you hit that man, it'd have been a penalty. There's a good job of balance. Good job of balance. I'm not sure he was quite in there. I think he actually fell on about a foot short of the goal line.
A slight hesitation at the goal line to rule it a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now, Dean Wilcox has had 3 carries of over 30 yards this afternoon. His average is 24 yards per carry.
Well, that was a pretty good run right there. There's 8 rushes for 187 yards. You know, the way they're running the football, I think you just throw once in a while just to let the quarterback know that that he can throw that. There goes Captain TSN again.
Had a lot of mileage out of that banner here today.
Well, and the thing is, they're all gone now, so we've lost 3, but it's taken a halftime to lose all 3, so that's not bad.
Connie Mandela with Peter Harrison holding. Looks for the point after. And he's got it. Well, let's look once more at that brilliant run by Dean Wilcox. Here's how it develops.
Here we are. It's a power trap. They trap and kick out, see. The thing that impressed me, he gets right here on the man's tail, right here. Well, I see him slow down there to kind of give a chance for his blockers to do something for him right there, and then he splits the seam. Now, here we are. I can't tell, but it looks like he falls. It's good body balance right there. Falls right there. That's excellent body balance, and he's a little guy that just keeps coming at you. And doesn't look too powerful, but he's a little stronger than he looks, really.
That's 5 touchdowns in a row for Queens. They were down by 2.
Well, right now, it could be bad for McGill. McGill's got to try to, move the ball down and get in scoring position. Because I think if you give Queens the ball, they'll blow you out of the ballpark.
Ray Lalonde has problems for a second. Now he's got the football. Not much of a return as the Golden Gales headed well covered at the 20-yard line. Scott Bissessar led the tacklers for Queens that time.
Well, it's going to give not very good field position for McGill to operate. Coach Hargraves there is a little happier now. You got a 14-point lead, and every time you get the football now, you think you can score with it offensively.
When is it okay for a coach to smile?
Usually when you're ahead by 40 points and there's 30 seconds left in the game.
40 points. I was just wondering. First down facing Jamie Crawford McGill. They trail by 2 touchdowns now. It's 36-22 Queens. Andy Holman, 23. Stopped by Stephen Stewart, 63. Holman stands 5 feet 4.5 inches. I'm not sure if that's with his cleats on or
I think that's with his cleats on. Yes, with his cleats on.
For Holman, a gain of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 8. McGill.
Big play here. Let's go.
See, right now, McGill, you know, they've got to come up with the ball because Queens gets the ball. They think they're going to score every time now.
Crawford intended that for Dave Angel, and his target was well out of reach. John Thompson was covering Angel. It'll be 3rd down, McGill. Peter, there have been many, many colder afternoons standing on the sidelines to watch football of all types in this country. No doubt about that.
No doubt about that at all. I can remember 2 or 3 of them in this very park in the last, back about 10 years ago. This has been a pretty good football game. McGill shows some signs of breaking it open here, but let's see what happens on this next series.
Well, I think it is. There is a strong possibility that the game could be broken open here. Depends on what happens on this series of plays.
Petrobon for Don Young. And Young still standing. He's to the 35-yard line of McGill and across. The tackle made by the kicker, Pietrobon, number 26. So the Queens Golden Gales are fired up as they move into a 2-touchdown lead and have possession once more deep in McGill territory.
He breaks that tackle and starts down the sideline.
Third quarter action continues in Kingston with Queens out in front of McGill 36-22. This is a semifinal match in Ontario-Quebec Conference football action. The other matchup has Carleton at Bishops. And the winner here this afternoon will meet the winner of that game in the league final. First down, Queens. Inside the 35. And Harrison had nowhere to go that time. Peter Harrison down in the grasp of number 63, Mark Lebrecq, and 53, Francois Jovin.
Well, he tried to run what we call a counter option, but here it comes right here. And McGill penetrated, ran right by number 59 there for Queens. Kowalski, is it?
No, that's Koukouris.
Koukouris, and ran right by him, actually, and made the play.
You were close, though.
Well, I could.
2nd and 13, and there's nowhere to go that time either for Queens.
Now, see, I'm not sure. I don't quite understand this because, you know, you run that option so well and everything, you know, I would think that you'd keep running it, come right back and keep running because you had the ball actually on the 32-yard line when you started. You've lost about 4 yards now, but I guess that was probably maybe one of my faults. You got something going for you. Why change?
Well, Queens has had 40 offensive plays in the afternoon. 33 have been running plays, only 7 passing.
Well, I don't think they should throw the ball. They don't have to throw the ball. Every time they run the ball, like I said, you look at Wilcox and Vaughn, they both have over 100 yards. They're probably averaging 15 yards a carry. So let's just give the ball to them and tell everybody to get out of the way.
Connie Mandela will kick it away on 3rd down for Queens. He stands at the 50-yard line. McGill will need a good return here to get any kind of field position. Mandela aimed it for the corner.
Perfect kick.
1 yard deep.
1 yard deep. Now, I don't know if that's perfect or not. Maybe you won the ball on the 1 yard line. That's a single.
Well, maybe he kicked it 2 yards short then. He wanted it out on the 1.
Yeah.
He'll take the
I don't know. It depends
on
where you want the single point. If you want to have him play on the 1 yard line. At this point in the game, I think I'd prefer to have him on the 1 yard line. But that ball hit right on the line. It bounced on the line about 1 yard deep in the end zone. So it was really only off 2 yards. That's a pretty nice punt, really.
Talking to Connie's father at halftime, Connie Mandela Sr.
Was he used to be a punter?
I don't know if he was a punter or not. I know he lives in Toronto. This is Sanham. And he was stopped by Mike Langford. He'll make it a gain of close to 8 yards. Make it 8 yards. 2nd and 2.
8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Well, I don't know. That's pretty. McGill has an opportunity here. They're going to see whether they're a passing team or a running team. They may come up and throw this one.
On 2nd and 2, they decide to keep it along the ground, and whether they got the first down, we'll have to wait and see. Sandham, the ball carrier, Langford, the tackler, once more.
They did not get the first down. They're going to be a good yard and a half short. 2 yards. They're going to have to punt the football.
3rd and 2, you're right, Tuffy.
At halftime in Lennoxville, Quebec, it's the Bishop Gators 9.
Halftime score coming in now. 9-2 Bishops leading Carleton. Not surprising, I don't suppose.
No.
Maybe
well,
the margin is surprising.
I think the score is surprising. In fact, it's only 9-2 because I think both those teams have been fairly offensive-minded throughout the year and have scored some a lot of points, you know, high-scoring games. Uh-oh.
Bad snap that time. He got it away. That's Petrobon, the punter. And it's fielded by John Larson, 19. No return. Tacklers led for McGill by Glenn McDonald, number 45.
I think what happened on that punter did an excellent job of fielding the snap because it was a very bad snap. Petrobon did a very good job. And then when he kicked it, Larson fumbled the ball. So actually, Queens could have lost it. And I think McGill is going to need a big turnover to get back in here.
It's a first down for Queens, just shy of their 40-yard line at the 39. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to play, quarter 3. This is Andy Stubert. We've got a new member of the backfield back there, giving one of the regulars a little bit of a break. Martin LaRoe, the tackle for McGill, a 4-yard, make that 7 yards, and 2nd and 3.
I think Stubert's played an awful lot for him here. Here they are. They pull out there, trap, and Stubert gets right on this tail, number 53, the freshman Golnack, and follows him right up through the play. That's just a power sweep there on a wing tee.
Stubert again.
Same play, John. They ran exactly the same play again.
And that'll be good for the first down. Stopped by Philip Seacott. Now, Queens used 4 running backs this season, all averaged over 6 yards per carry.
Well, when you do that, you're going to have success. You know, your running backs, like I said, you got 6 yards to carry. So, you know, in running the ball as much as they do, you need some depth in that position because your backs are going to get beat up a little bit.
Fake to Stubert this time. Harrison tried to get it away, and he was swarmed over by number 42, Cliff Wilson.
Well, you got yourself in a bad situation here. This is just a fake bootleg. Comes out and he wants to throw the ball, you know, and McGill is coming after him right now. And he ended up losing, I guess, 10 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 20. You're probably going to throw this one. You're either going to throw it or run a draw play. They've got yourself in trouble. I don't know why you would do that.
They lost the football, recovered by McGill. And that was Cliff Wilson coming up with the football. So McGill with a chance right now inside the 40-yard line of Queens. And it'll be first down for the Redmen when we return. So a turnover has the McGill Redmen with a first down at the 40-yard line of Queens. They trail 37-22. A touchdown here would make it quite a fourth quarter. We have 2 minutes, 34 seconds to play in quarter 3. Good running room for Holman, and Holman down to the 25-yard line. A 15-yard pickup for Andy Holman.
Crucial turnover right now. You know, I thought that Queens had McGill on the ropes, and why they would, you know, want to throw the ball. They started off by throwing the ball. Harrison lost 10 yards because he was sacked, and then the next play they fumbled the ball. You know, I don't see why you would do that. I don't understand why you would do that, and because McGill now is kind of inspired a little bit, and if they come back and score here, they'll be a lot tougher to beat here.
Holman once more, less yardage this time, but he has close to 5. Langford led the tacklers along with Frank Kakuras.
Well, I think they come now. They're down in what I call 3-down territory. When you get down here and you're down 14 points or 15 points, I guess, so you can run the football right at them for 3 downs. or you can run through a pass three or whatever you want to do. McGill probably could pass three, but you've got 3 plays to do whatever you want to do.
2nd down and 7. Crawford will put it up. The intended receiver is Miller, and there must have been a mix-up because Miller was well away from the play. Covering Miller that time, Jeff Kyle, number 21.
I think there was some confusion. I don't know if Miller, obviously Crawford thought he was going to do a down, out, and down, and Miller actually went down and did a kind of a curl, and I don't know how the confusion, what caused the confusion.
Some confusion on the sidelines as well as Charlie Bailey sends
I think Crawford thought they were going to go
quarterback right back in.
I think he thought they were going to go for the field goal, but I think Coach Bailey's right in this. Why go for the field goal? You got to go for the touchdown, and if you don't make it, we've got them down pretty deep in their territory.
They gamble 3rd and 7. Crawford has his man, has the touchdown. Ray Lalonde. How about that? A strange turn of events there. Crawford was walking off the sidelines, had to go in and make up his mind on a play in a heck of a hurry.
Right.
Comes up with a touchdown.
Well, he thought it was field. Here we are. Crawford steps back, and he's got time here. The line gives him good time to throw there. What? He throws the ball. This is an outstanding catch. Watch that. Up high, just over top of the Queen defender, and the safety man, the rover from Queens, doesn't come up and make the play. Comes up and misses the tackle. But that's an outstanding catch there. Right now, we've got a heck of a football game.
37-28.
I'm not sure I wouldn't go for 2 here, rather than to kick the single. If you're down 8, if you go for 2 here, you know, and then you still got another chance. If you score another touchdown, you still have the chance to kick at the tie, or you go for 2 to win.
37-29. Queens out in front.
And it's like I say, it's you know, it's 8-point lead, and we've got a quarter left of outstanding football.
You know that single we were talking about just a little while ago? All of a sudden that looms a little larger. The one we wondered if Mandela really wanted.
Yeah, well, that single, that looks big, but I'll tell you what looks even a little bigger is when McGill had it down there just at the end of the first half, and time ran out, and they didn't get a chance to try the field goal. That kind of thing kind of worries me a little bit. You might be spending a lot of sleepless nights if you come up and lose this game by 1-2 points. Coaching staff either be kicking herself in the backside.
1 minute, 5 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Glenn Miller kicks it out for McGill on the returning end. Jamie McKinnon. And good upfield coverage by the Redmen that time. McKinnon barely made the 25. Frank Oliveri led the tacklers for the Redmen. And so it'll be a 1st down for Queens. They mark it about the 26-yard line.
Well, that's what I said. Anytime you can hold them inside, actually it's the 27, John. Anytime you can hold them inside the 30-yard line, you feel that your kickoff team has done a pretty good job.
Well, it has been a great afternoon for football here in Kingston. I don't think there could have been a more ideal November day to play a football game.
You don't find many days like this. It's just enough crispness in the air to, you know, to keep you crisp.
Harrison across the 30-yard line to the 31. He was met there by Mario Chagnon.
Well, that was the option there, and he picked up about 4 yards on the play, which, you know, Queens is kind of funny. They act like they don't like to run that, and they go away from it. When they get in trouble, they always come back to it.
A gain of 4. This is 2nd and 6 for the Queens University Golden Gales. Harrison still has the football. And did he come? Did they fumble it? No, I guess not. Tacklers led by Chagnon once more, and Mark Lebrecht, number 63. So Queens will have to kick it away on 3rd and 5.
Well, and McGill, you know, could get fairly decent field position here.
Peter Watts is having a very relaxing afternoon down there.
Yeah, he's down there, and it's, you know, the sun, kind of bathing in the sun down there. You know, it isn't cold, and he's just kind of enjoying it down there with, on the sideline. You know,
Lovely day, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I think the top of his head may be getting a little sunburned, though.
No. I got a little protection there, unlike somebody else that I don't want to mention.
Well, it has been a good football game, and it's not over yet. This should be the last play of the third quarter as Mandela stands back at his 15-yard line on third down to kick it away. Big rush that time. They almost got through. This is Belanger. And Belanger has McGill near the 50-yard line.
He was lucky to get that punt away.
Steve Porter led the tacklers for Queens that time. There you see the scoreboard at the end of the third quarter. 37 for Queens, 29 for McGill. Lots more ahead. Ready for the fourth quarter, a great college football afternoon. Kingston, Ontario. McGill Redmond, Queens Golden Gales. The Golden Gales at home lead 37-29. We begin the fourth quarter. Andy Holman. Number 23, stopped by number 69, Terry Edwards.
He hits up in there very tough for a little guy. You know, he runs more like a fullback than he does a little 5'4" tailback. Watch him hit up in there on this play here. He just sticks that what he hits right up in there hard. See, he breaks a tackle right there. You know, that's he's a hard runner.
A gain of 4. This is 2nd and 6, McGill. Crawford looks to throw, and there's nowhere. He is swarmed under by 3 Golden Gales, led by Terry Edwards. That's the 4th quarterback sack for the Golden Gales.
Well, what they did there, they just ran over top of the backs here. Here they come right here. Gary Kanock, watch, he comes over there. So they just run right over top of Sands, the fullback. They ran right over top of him, just overpowered him, Queens did that time.
So it's now third down for the Redmen. And they'll call on Bruno Petrobon. Petrobon back at his 30-yard line. Not deep. Taken at the 30-yard line by Young. And Young, some running room to the outside. He turns it into an 11-yard return. Maybe should have been stopped more quickly than that. Cliff Wilson led the tacklers for the Redmen that time. Watch again.
Here we are on this. He has a seam there. He breaks it. He gets by that guy. You know, they've got a little room, but that wasn't enough. He caught the ball on the fly before it hit the ground, and he caught it in full stride running. So that was a good return. Queens actually just gained about 8-10 yards on that exchange right there.
Joe Valenti, number 51, is the injured Queens Golden Gale. They're attending to him near the 40-yard line. And while there's a timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout on the telecast with McGill trailing Queens 37-29. Fourth quarter just underway. Queens out in front of McGill. And this is George Richardson Stadium in Kingston, Ontario. I'm John Wells with Tuffy Knight upstairs and Peter Watts downstairs. I am Peter seated beside the incredible eating machine. There were a dozen donuts delivered and only 3 remain. So if you want a quick snack before the end of the game, you better hurry up.
Well, some guys talk all the time and other guys eat. You know, I could talk and let you eat, but I'd probably still lose.
First down, Queens Golden Gales from their 40-yard line. This is Dean Wilcox. And Wilcox close to a first down. He was brought down near the 50-yard line, maybe across it. Steve Niles led the tacklers for the Redmen that time. It is a first down, ruled so.
Here we are, just power sweep again. Good blocking there. Good blocking on the offensive line there, and he runs the thing up in there. He's quick. He's I don't think he has looks like he has real outstanding speed, but he's got good quickness, and he cuts the thing back and picks up a good yardage there.
They mark it a 12-yard pickup. This time Greg Bond tries the other side. Met by Francois Jovan. A 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 5. Queens continues to grind it out along the ground.
That's their game, John. I think that's what they should be doing right now. You want to eat up the clock and don't give McGill a chance to get the hold of the ball again.
You get mad every time Queens drops back to pass.
Oh, I do. It does upset me because they can run it so easy.
Bond and Wilcox, 370 yards between them. This is Wilcox again, adding to that total. He's inside the 30-yard line. Stopped by Stephen Bailey, number 9.
Why would you throw it? Tell me. I mean, every time they run the ball, it's 5, 7, 10. You know, it's kind of like a rhythm song. You know, I used to say that I love that song. Clang, clang, clang. That's the guy moving that chain over on the sideline. You know.
It is another first down for the Golden Gales. We'll begin at the 40-yard line. This is Bond. And Bond has another first down. He's inside the 30. Stopped by Bailey once more.
Well, there you see, you give it to Bond there, and like I said, this is Queen's game, whether they like it or not. This is their kind of game, and they probably should, you know, realize that and come to the rationalization that we're going to run the football and just do that.
Sounds like Bailey is making a lot of tackles, but realistically, he is the last man back in his safety spot. Dean Wilcox this time. Flags are down, and Wilcox still going inside the 10-yard line. We'll go back to the line of scrimmage and check out the infraction. Denny Touchette making the stop that time for McGill.
Holding. That's tough. That's tough.
So they'll take that one back.
Yeah, it's a 10-yard penalty, but the way they run the ball, I'm not sure they can't overcome that. 72, we don't like
Steve
Porter, but it was Steve Porter.
Now, Steve Porter got caught for 2 consecutive holding penalties in the first drive, first quarter by Queens. And then went in and caught the touchdown
then went in
pass.
and makes a great catch, so we'll see what happens here. He's the kind of guy that will make amends.
It is first down and 20 for the Golden Gales. Back now at the 39-yard line. And a big hole for Bond once more. He's a tough man to bring down. Bond, touchdown. Greg Bond all the way for the touchdown from 40 yards out.
This is a trap play here. Wait till we see it. Watch the trap here. Here's the guard right there. 53 comes out and traps out. Bond hits up in there and breaks it back here. Excellent job. He breaks it back against the grain there, and there's nobody there. And, you know, then he just kind of waltzes in there, and it's touchdown time. I've always believed, you know, you take what the good Lord gives you and makes the best of it, and they have given Queens the ability to run the football, so I'm going to run it. I'm not going to throw it a whole lot.
Greg Bond has run for 58, 40, and 30 yards on his biggest carries of the day. Connie Mandela looks for the point after, and he's got it. So the score now reads Queens 44 and the visiting McGill Redmond 29. Fourth quarter continues on TSN right after this. Some happy times for supporters of the Queens University Golden Gales, who have moved out to a 44-29 lead on McGill now. Fourth quarter is underway, and Connie Mandela prepares to kick it off for Queens once more. He's been busy. Mandela.
Yeah, I'd like to ride that bike with you, John. Get you in the front, and that way I wouldn't have to pedal. And you couldn't turn around to see.
I might have a heck of a time making it move. They try the reverse and fumble it. Now Belanger finally got the football back. Lalonde handed it off. Belanger dropped it. And Messenger made the tackle for Queens.
Here it is,
Risky.
right here. Right, let's see. It might be there. If he would have got a clean handoff, he might have got a little something. He kind of throws it in. You're supposed to stick it in there. He kind of tossed it in. I don't know what would have. He would have got a little bit of yardage because I think they had a fair wall set up there. I don't think he'd have gone all the way, but he might have got it, you know, after the midfield anyway.
From the 27, it's first down McGill. Crawford. Now, the ball ended up in the hands of Holman.
I think what happened there was definitely some confusion on the receiving core there. They went down there and looked like they had two men kind of in the same area, and one kind of stopped. He didn't continue his pattern.
I think the intended receiver was Ray Lalonde. This will be 2nd and 10 McGill. Crawford on the run, tries to find Miller at the 35. Some pressure there from Langford and Gary Canuck.
Well, they had great pressure there, Queens did on him, and he's trying to throw the ball. Langford had great pressure. He's trying to throw the ball on the run there, and that's tough for quarterbacks to do, to throw it with any accuracy. And he's run towards the sideline. As I said, you have to eventually stop and plant and deliver that ball with some leg power in it, and your feet are key. And he's run towards the sideline, try to throw it across his body.
So on third down, Bruno Pietrobon, 26, McGill, stands near his 15. This is Don Young. Pretty good return last time. Nowhere to go that time. A 1-yard return. Steve Niles nullified the return that time.
Niles did a real good job of tackling. That was kind of an open field tackle, and you thought maybe that he was going to run away from him because he had more speed, but he ran him down and actually catches him right here. Watch. He comes in here right there, see, and kind of catches him and pulls him down from behind. Just good quickness to do that. You have to be able to run a little bit to do that because that back should be a little faster than you.
10 minutes left in quarter 4. Queens first down at the 50. Greg Bond. And he's across the 55. Stopped by Mario Chenier and Mark Lebrecht.
Gain of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5.
They mark it back at the 54 of Queens. It'll be 2nd down and 5 to go for the Golden Gales. Greg Bond has impressive stats this afternoon, but he also has 475 yards in 2 games. This is Harrison on the option, and he keeps himself plenty for the first down inside the 40-yard line. Stopped by Cliff Wilson, 42. That option play works very effectively under the direction of Peter Harrison.
I think that's just beautiful to me. Watch this. Here is the fullback. Watch. He steps back. He puts it in the fullback's stomach. They take the fullback. He took the ball out. See how they hit Bond on that? That fullback has to be prepared to sacrifice his body there. He hits Bond. Harrison keeps the ball and comes out there. As I said, whatever the defense does, it's wrong. And you do not go in there to stop this type of offense or play unless you are well prepared and you've got a certain scheme. You've got to have a certain scheme to stop it.
1st and 10. Queens at the 40. This is Wilcox. And he's short of the 35, so it'll be about a 4-yard pickup.
That was a pretty good lick that they laid on Wilcox that time. Someone caught him right in the chest there and just kind of put him right on his back. And that's the first time that probably today that he hasn't fallen forward. That time he falls backwards. You'll watch this when he gets hit there. It's a trap play that they ran so well. Watch when he hits. He falls. They put him on his back first time today they've done that.
2nd and 6, Queens. Dean Wilcox. And Wilcox may have the first down.
Yeah.
He's across the 30-yard line. Vince Gagne.
Yep, he's got the first down. Here, it's just a sweep. See the 2 guards pulling 53, 59, pull out here, and Wilcox cuts it right back. There's a good block there by 53 for Queens, the freshman, Gannock.
One impressive stat for Queens in the second half. 12 first downs compared to McGill, 1.
Well, like I said, I think you got to control the ball with McGill and don't give Crawford the football, and that's how you keep him from scoring.
This is Bond, and Bond is across the 25. Francois Chauvin led the tacklers for McGill that time. It's a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Now, are you going to get mad if Queens throws the football here?
Why throw it? You're just stopping the clock. That means we're going to get out of here later. Why not just run the football and get down? Plus, they're going to score a touchdown. If you score, why do that, you know? You're stopping the clock. It could be intercepted and dropped. All you have to do is give it to Bonds or Wilcox, and you'll get your 5.
7:41 to play. 4th quarter. This is Wilcox. And Wilcox moves to the outside, has the first down, still on his feet at the 4-yard line. Steve Niles made the tackle and saved the touchdown.
He made a great move here. Watch this move. Here it is, right here. Pulled. He cuts back inside, but watch not to move. Right there's the move. He steps inside and then breaks it back out to the outside. See, that is a good move for the little man. Stepped inside, brought the tacklers in and then stepped back to the outside. That was an outstanding move right there. Plus, he got the ball on the 5-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal to go. Queens at the 5. John Larson carried that time. Francois Chauvin, 53, the tackle for McGill.
Well, now is when Coach Hargraves, you know, they score this one. Now he can probably take a sigh of relief or a little deeper breath and kind of maybe smile a little bit.
Maybe smile, maybe smirk anyway.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, you just run the football here. There's just a power sweep, and he breaks it back inside. There's a missed tackle there by McGill, and it costs him. If he makes that tackle, they lose 2 yards instead of gaining 2.
2nd and goal to go from the 3. This is Wilcox. And he stopped short.
He's on the 1-yard line.
Donald Burns, 75, saved the touchdown that time. Well, Wilcox was into the end zone. The football wasn't.
Well, yeah, there's no rush now. You know, you're in control right now.
3rd and goal to go from the 1.
Here we are right now, right there. See, now that's a good call by the referee because he was down, and before he stuck the ball across the goal line. He did get it across, but he was down before he did that.
And easily into the end zone, Greg Bond.
Here we go. That's just, see, they blew McGill off. No penetration by McGill there across the goal line. And when you don't get that penetration, here you are. See, they've blown him back off the ball there. Excellent example there of Queens' offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage because they had McGill's players all in the end zone there. They just blew him right back off the ball. And as I said last week, it depends on who gets the most of that 36 inches. And on that play there, looks like Queens got all the 36 inches. Plus, they probably picked up another 36 because McGill was 1 yard deep in the end zone on that one.
Connie Mandela will try for the extra point. He's been busy and good on all converts. He missed 2 field goals, had 2 blocks. Flags are down as it goes through the uprights.
McGill could have been offsides. I'm not sure exactly what.
Queens has rushed for 520 yards so far. McGill, 94.
Now that's, you know, that's my kind of game when you can take the ball and rush like that. If you can take it and rush like that, I don't know. I guess, you know, they say variety is the spice of life, but I don't know if you need any variety.
Too many men, refused, point is good.
The point will stand. McGill had too many men on the football field, so the score now reads 51 Queens, 29 McGill. 5 minutes, 51 seconds to play. Quarter 4 at George Richardson Stadium, Kingston. Connie Mandela kicks it off again. McGill has to get going here.
McGill's had a lot of trouble handling the kickoff and punt returns this half. Queens had a lot of trouble the first half. It's just amazing how the tide has shifted as far as that. And it's been given McGill very bad field position a good portion this afternoon, the second half.
Robin Belanger had the problems that time. Don Young was upfield to make the tackle. That's Belanger having misjudging it, actually.
Well, right now, like I said, you know, it's kind of fun time as far as Queens is concerned. It's not too fun time as far as Coach Bailey and McGill is concerned. I've been in that position before.
Many times, I understand.
Yeah, many times. That's true.
Crawford looked that time for Ray Lalonde. Norm Benning was covering.
But
second and 10.
In your coaching career, you've got to have a little bitter with a little sweet. And there's
Peaks
been,
and valleys,
there's
I
been a
understand.
few sweet times also. Nothing as sweet as these donuts here, though. I've never had a game where I've enjoyed the donuts and things like that.
Up there?
We have 2 left, Peter, out of an even dozen, and I haven't had time to have a nibble, so.
I've had one, Peter, and Skinny Wells up here has had a few all day.
One at a time is what it sounds like.
Second and 10, McGill. Crawford has time this time, looks for Miller. And a good defensive play that time. You have to hand it to Rick Crimson.
Yeah, that was an excellent defensive play because it looked like it was a little bit underthrown. It looked like that Miller has him covered here. Watch this. He has him covered. See, he's back. He's got him beat, Miller does, and he comes right to the last minute and knocked the ball away. If he doesn't touch the football, they could have called pass interference, but since he touches the football, then, you know, it's legal. But I think Miller might have had a step on him, but the ball was underthrown just a shade.
Bruno Pietrobon is 2 yards deep in his end zone on 3rd and 10 to kick it away. Big rush from Queens that time, coming through number 27, Ian Deacon. And upfield tacklers led that time by Steve Niles. Jamie McKinnon had nowhere to go. However, Queens still gets good field position.
That's good coverage there, but that punt was almost blocked, really. Could have looked like it went right through his arms. And Queens does have the ball now in excellent field position. We'll see what they do now. Now, if you want to throw a little bit, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, you can throw a little bit now.
I hope Doug Hargraves is listening to you.
It's all right now, you know.
It's okay to throw. It's good practice now.
Yeah,
when you've
good
got a
practice,
lead.
yeah.
And they might throw with a new quarterback in there. Paul Senishin.
3 yards to 2nd and 7.
I think they have a whole new backfield in there now, John. Queens does. New quarterback, and I think they have a couple new running backs in there right now. I see number 30, but I don't have a number 30 on my... Yes, I do. Behringer. Ted Behringer's in there now. It's one of the running back spots.
And Senishin has problems at the... He lost close to 10 yards. Jovan led the tacklers that time.
Well, as I said, see, it's okay to throw now. And that's what he was trying to do, but his protection wasn't very good there. Now, he's not going to be too happy with the offensive line there, but you can relax.
It'll be 3rd down and 15 to go. Mandela back at the 35 on 3rd down to kick for Queens. 3 minutes, 35 seconds to play, quarter 4. Queens 51, McGill 29. Big rush that time on Mandela. This is Lalonde. And he's short of the 35.
See what Coach Hargraves has to do now, John. He starts down there and he said, let's see now. Next week, we're going to play that overshift, you know, flat iron double slot offense. And on defense, we're going to, he's starting to plan already, see what's going to happen next week, see. He may relish this victory here for about 3 minutes to 10 minutes after the game is over, and then you got to start thinking about next week.
Well, next week it's the Ontario-Quebec final, possibly against Bishops.
Well, it was 9-2, so we're not sure it's going to be a victory for Carl. That's too close yet to make that, and I haven't heard a score since we heard the
Well, I would
first
say possibly on the fact that Bishops has had the season it has had now. 3-minute warning is up, and we have 3:02 unofficially on the clock with Queens out in front. McGill 51-29. Back live at George Richardson Stadium, Kingston, Ontario. Final 3 minutes of this semifinal game between Queens and McGill. The winner on next week to face Carleton or Bishops in the Ontario-Quebec League final.
Well, it could be right back here again, you know, if it's Carleton. And if Bishop wins, they'll be playing at Bishop.
Big pressure once more on Jamie Crawford. Gary Kynock led the charge that time.
What's happening is Kynock is a little too big, as I said earlier in the show, a little bit too big for those backs that have to block him for McGill. So he just comes in there and kind of overpowers those backs, and has had a little bit of success as far as putting pressure on Crawford the second half. The first half, he was able to scramble around and get time to throw the football. Second half, he hasn't had time to do that. But you take them out of their game when they don't get the ball very often. And they haven't had the ball a lot time-wise the second half.
Bruno Pietrobon. Big charge. They block it this time, and Queens can go for the touchdown. Ian Deacon finds it at the 2-yard line.
He almost blocked that ball the time before. As I said, I thought it went between his arms. I thought he was there, and it went between his arms. This time he closed it. Now, this takes a little courage, you know. You're running there, and that guy's kicking at you, and you figure that ball and his foot's kind of coming right up under your chin. And like I said, it takes a little courage to go in there. Some guys go in there and kind of shy away from that. And last time he went in and opened his arms, and it was kind of like a field goal. But that time he just closed them and just blocked it, hit him right in the arms, and he goes down and falls on a football and puts Queens in excellent position.
Well, it can't get much more excellent than 1st and goal to go from the 3.
Or you could be on a 2 or the 1, John.
Touchdown. That's Greg Bond once more. Oh, Stubert, rather. 34, Andy Stubert.
Stubert has done a pretty good job when he's been in there today. You know, this is, he's hit here. Watch this. It's just Queens coming out there and blocking. There's a trap right there. 53 runs over top of him right there. And watch, he's hit here pretty hard. Watch, there. What? And he twists back into the end zone. Excellent job there, right? He was hit about the 1. He just turned his back and twisted and fell into the end zone.
Back to that previous play, Tuffy. Deacon really makes a good play by making sure he has the football. Instead of trying to pick it up and run into the end zone, he got possession of it first, and really, a lot of times it can happen where a player tries to pick up the football, loses it, causes scramble, and you don't get the turnover that you deserve.
That's exactly right. That's a good job of doing that. And you're down there where you know you're going to score anyway, and so everyone likes to score a touchdown. You know, I played in the backfield all through high school and never did score a touchdown. No, but we won some games. We won some games, but I never did score a touchdown. You know.
Too many donuts, even in those years.
No, I was a trim 136 pounds in. Now I'm clear up to 140.
Well, it's 58-29. Queens leading McGill, and I think the chubby lady's about to sing the song here.
Yep. It's kind of time to say turn out the lights. You know, the party's over. McGill's got to go home and get out the recruiting book and start recruiting, and Queens is planning on what they're going to do next week. But Coach Hargraves would probably like to know who won between Bishop and Carlton, so he can make his plans now while he's standing on the sideline rather than wait till the game's over here.
Well, if it's Carlton, he'd like to sell a few tickets for next week.
Well, I'm sure if it's Carlton, they'll have a great crowd here, you know. This is a great crowd today, and I'm sure that when playoff time comes, that kind of brings out a lot of people. Queens always had great support of their football program.
Very enthusiastic here this afternoon, no question about that. 2 minutes, 33 seconds to play, 4th quarter. This is Ray Lalonde, and he was met by Keenock.
Keenock's got fired up here. The last 5 minutes, he's made about 3 good plays. He comes in and puts pressure on the quarterback, and was in on the sack, and that time he comes in on the kickoff and slams the guy down on the 29-yard line. He's just got his second win. That's what it was. He's been coasting today, kind of pacing himself. You know, I do that now, but I when you get a certain age, you do that. But Keenock, he's starting young in life to pace himself.
First down, McGill. 28-yard line. Crawford, far side. And his passing has been off a little bit in the second half. Ian Deacon was covering, and Druckman was the intended receiver.
Well, I think you put your finger on it, John. His passing has been a little bit off the second half. But I'll tell you what, it's difficult to pass well when you got them guys with those yellow helmets, you know, stuck up under your chin, you know, and in your face all afternoon. And that's what it's been the second half. The first half, he was able to scramble around and throw the ball a little better and had just a little more time. He has not had a lot of time the second half.
Crawford is 2 of 14
that's a
in the
fumble.
second half.
That's a
There's
fumble.
a loose ball back there.
That's
Queens
a fumble.
comes up with it at the 25-yard line. That was Stephen Stewart.
See, that pass was thrown. That was a lateral pass. It was thrown behind the quarterback. Here you are, watch it. See, it's behind the quarterback. So that means it's a free ball. Whoever gets that
I
ball.
think Holman lost it in the sun, actually.
Yeah, he could have. But that gives Queen the ball. And Queen's going to try to score again, but they've got all the clean uniforms, no sweat, no stink on them at all. You know, there's no smell to those uniforms that are out on that field right now because they're all nice and clean. These are guys that have not played a lot this afternoon.
They got Connie Mandela in there at a wide receiver spot right now. He's the kicker normally. That's Barrington. Stopped by Wayne McCrae.
Now, Behringer's played a lot. He's played some last year in Vanier Cup game, and he's played some this year, too. He's a good enough football player. He's not going to hurt him in there. But you got some young linemen in there right now that you're telling them to get in there and blow some people off the ball. I see one dirty uniform out there, though. I think it's going to knock the guard.
Stubbert, the ball carrier, 34. And he was tackled by Oliveri, Frank Oliveri, number 32. Less than 2 minutes to play, fourth quarter.
And Coach Bailey is saying, let the clock run, and so isn't Coach Hargraves right now, because, you know, there's no sense, you know, wasting, keep running slow, and it's just agonizing. You want to get it over with and have it done with.
Get on the bus and head home.
Get on the bus and head home, that's right. People always ask, is it fun to coach? Definitely fun if you're standing down here to the right this afternoon with the guys
in the yellow.
But it's not fun when you're standing down at the other end, I can assure you of that.
From the 15, Queens. With a first down. Paul Sissician is the quarterback right now. And the running backs have changed in there. That's Ted Bergeron, stopped by Robin Belanger.
But Coach Bailey just say, let's buckle them up and stay in there and keep hitting. And I heard that pop there that time. It was a good, solid hit that time by the McGill defense.
They get Bergeron a gain of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Chance to jump in for a second, gentlemen. We understand that quarterback Peter Harrison of the Gales will be named on Monday as the most valuable player in Ontario-Quebec intercollegiate football this year. A couple of running backs on his team probably gave him the toughest competition, but certainly, if indeed that is the case, well-deserved honor for the Gales' fine young quarterback, Peter Harrison.
He's an all-star in this conference as well, Peter. And you can see why, the way he's directed this Queens football team to victory this afternoon.
Well, I think it's based on the fact is, you know, he hasn't had a great year passing the ball, but, you know, that doesn't mean he isn't an outstanding quarterback. The thing that he does best is read the option and run it, and you know, that's their game. So he does it well, and richly, he deserves the award that he receives, I'll tell you.
That does not show up in quarterbacking statistics, because if you were picking an all-star quarterback by statistic in this conference, it would have to go to Jamie Crawford, who had 1,797 yards passing and a 57% completion average. So.
Well, I think the statistics are, you know, that he's able to read that option. To me, that is just as difficult as throwing the football.
One more touchdown. It goes to Andy Stubert, who has 2 in the fourth quarter.
Well, they just ran a power play that time and blew him off the ball. And to get back to that quarterback, here we are. Let me comment on this here. You know, here we come. It's just a power play. He does a good job of cutting it back right there. And he's hit there again. You know, there he goes backwards into the end zone. That's just second effort, backpedaling any way you can to get in there. Here we are, a different angle. We come in there. Watch him backwards. He goes in backwards right there into the end zone. But to get back to Harrison, you know, people think that the quarterback has to throw the ball to be successful, but, you know, if your game is the running game, and obviously that's what Queen's game is, you know, reading that option is difficult. I can assure you of that. And he does it so well that it takes a great athlete to be able to read it and operate that option play like he does. So I think he's deserving of at least, you know, if he received that award, he's definitely deserving of it.
I won't argue with you, Tuffy. He played extremely well today.
That's
and
right.
The last time we saw him, too, against Ottawa. Connie Mandela adds 1 more to his total. And Mandela, just kicking converts this afternoon, has had an impressive day.
Well, he hasn't missed one yet, you know, and so he's just, you know, he's had a lot of practice today. He's got a lot of kicks in today, you know. He scored 65 points. That means he's had a lot of practice today. He ought to be getting real good at it.
When you look at the scoreboard right now, 65 for Queens, 29 for McGill. It's hard to believe it was all even at halftime.
Well, that's right. Greg Bond said that they plan on coming out the second half and blowing them out there. And I think they come out and did the second half what they should be doing all the rest of the year, and that's, you know, running the football at people. because, you know, when they do that, they're very impressive. And I think at times that the fans say it's boring, but as I said, I never thought it was boring. When you can take and move that ball, and you saw them run that option on the triple option, and the guy break it off and then pitch it back and things. To me, that's exciting.
Just a minute to play, fourth quarter. Short kick that time by Mandela. Mishandled, at least initially. Finally, Sanham has it for McGill, who will begin near the 35-yard line. Minute flag is up.
You know, I see people, they go to the ballet and they say it's just, you know, beauty to see those ballerinas just dance around. And to me, it's beautiful to see that quarterback come down there on that triple option and give it to the fullback, take it out, keep himself, or make the pitch. You know, that's just, you get fired up and turned on by that, John.
That's,
you know, if
ballet to you.
That's ballet to me, that's right.
You're so cultural. I'm really impressed. Jamie Crawford running out of time, of course, fired it up the middle, has a strike to Druckman, and Druckman to the 45-yard line. Good play there. Mark Burley, the tackle for Queens. I didn't realize you had so much culture, Tom.
Oh, yeah, I pick it up, you know, a little here and there, you know. Yeah, I could name some of the spots I picked it up, but it might be embarrassing.
I thought they'd all close down.
No, there's still a couple in operation down on Young Street or someplace.
46 seconds left. And the Queens Golden Gales will move on to the Ontario-Quebec Football Conference Final against either Carleton or Bishops. Glenn Miller, the intended receiver.
I think what's happened to Miller the second half a little bit, and also the whole afternoon, is Queens has bumped him a little bit and held him up at certain parts, and he's kind of lost his composure a little bit. I think he still has to run his patterns, and what's happened, he's been bumped around a little bit, and they've thrown him off his patterns, and he was unable to keep his composure and come back with it.
Crawford under pressure, got it away to Druckman. Pressure that time, or Ian Deacon covering on Druckman.
I'm not sure whether he has the first down. It's going to be very, very close if it isn't the first down here, John.
Just 30 seconds on the clock.
They've got about third down and about a half a yard, maybe a yard.
Third down, yes, about a half a yard, Tuffy. I think you're right. Nobody is asking for a measurement at this stage of the game.
Oh, they're going to call timeout now.
So the Redmen with a 4-3 record on the regular season up against the Queens Golden Gales, who lost a couple of tough games early. The Golden Gales, they had a 5-2 record on the season. Queens lost by 1 point to Carleton and by about 3 points. It was 3 points to Bishops. Queens won this conference last year and the Atlantic Bowl, only to move on to the Vanier Cup and lose to the Calgary Dinosaurs, directed by Greg Vavra last November.
Well, I think that Queens has an excellent opportunity, or an excellent chance to be back there again this year, because, you know, if they can, it depends on next week. They've beaten Carleton but lost to Bishop, and if they can get by Bishop, I think that what would happen down east, they're going to be so much bigger than Acadia that they might be able to just overpower Acadia and be right back in the College Bowl again.
First down easily that time for Sanham. He was met by Mike Patterson. 24 seconds left.
Well, McGill's got to get right up on the line of scrimmage here, and
Come on now, have some joy! Have some joy here!
So time ticks out on the McGill Redmen, led by Jamie Crawford. And Crawford decides to run it himself this time.
You ought to get out of bounds.
We'll have the first down, but 9 seconds left on the clock. Really, there's nothing the Redmen can do about the outcome of this game except make it a little more respectable. Ian Deacon forcing the quarterback for McGill out that time.
I don't know if he got out of bounds. I guess he maybe did get out of bounds, which will stop the clock, and he's going to have time for one more play. I don't think he'll have time. Well, he might get two. Depends.
They're inside the 10-yard line now, McGill.
Oh, they're going to call timeout. Maybe he didn't get out of bounds.
65-29 is the score.
Yeah, he must not have got out of bounds. I thought he got out of bounds. If he didn't, I don't know why they wouldn't have had to call the timeout. You're prolonging the agony.
They certainly are. McGill lost to Queens September 22nd, 59-30. So they haven't.
What was it, 59-30?
59-30. So they haven't even done quite as well this
No, this
afternoon.
is a little worse, right? 65-29. I guess when you figure up, you're going to figure up statistics, you're going to find that Greg Bond had excellent game, and he's going to have another excellent game today. He's got to be over 200 yards, maybe 225. The fans are coming out on the field, which is very dangerous.
Here's Crawford in trouble. This will be the last play of the game as Crawford goes down in the grasp of Gary Keenock. That has been a familiar story this afternoon. Okay,
Right.
Tuffy, sum it up.
Right, Keenock did a good job there. Actually, what happened is, I think Queens come out the second half, started playing their style of game, running the football, and kept the ball away from McGill, and McGill lost the momentum, and Queens controlled it.
All right, let's go down to Peter Watts amid the mayhem down on the sideline. Pete.
Okay, gentlemen, this will be quick. It looks like the mob is arriving on the scene. We have Queens 65 and the McGill Redmen 29. McGill Redmen, a good football team, but on this day, just not able to keep up with the Golden Gales. The Gales had Dean Wilcox and Greg Bond rush for 470 yards unofficially in this ball game. Greg with 3 touchdowns in the second half, and that was a big part of the story as the Gales tripled play offense, broke the game open in the second half and scored some 40 points. Final score, 65-29 for the Gales over McGill. The Gales move on to the O-QIFC final next week. For John Wells and Tuffy Knight, I'm Peter Watts. Thank you for joining us. So long from Kingston.